Good morning, everyone. Hello. I didn't have time to set up the actual. Okay, there we go. So good morning. So as you can see, I had to put a new song in today. So that song on there is my brother, actually, my little baby brother. His name is Kevin. I guess you can find him on Spotify under Chemical, KMCL. Those are his initials for his name. So that's what he decided to name himself. So his name is Chemical on Spotify. He's got a lot of songs. That was just something that I had him make for me really quick, because yesterday when I did my video and we got shut down for the movie part of it, I went and looked back at the analytics yesterday, and it looks like YouTube has been is copywriting me now on everything. So now I am in YouTube's view and I don't like it at all. But it is what it is. I have to start doing things a little bit better. Apparently no more 15-minute movies on YouTube anymore. I guess we can't watch any cool movies, which sucks. And now they're paying attention to my music. as they do. So there we go. Now, hopefully today I won't get a copyright strike on this video because that song was made by my brother. Fuck you, YouTube. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this morning? I see Warren in the comments. Yeah. Okay, so good morning, and I can't wait to see. I did watch your day 2 yesterday of Comic-Con, so we will be watching all 3 of them today. So I'm gonna release all of your videos before you do. I mean, you released them, but I'm gonna share them before you do. Good morning, Dolores. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithms. This show is, I am over ecstatic about how many likes and shares and the comments and stuff. Like, this is just, it's been so cool to see, like, just us starting to at least grow a little bit and seeing some things, some things happening. Never read comments, I'll tell you that. Since my face is now the face of this show, apparently everybody in the comment section likes to talk about how I look and not about how smart I am. So to them, I have really shitty takes, and I'm going to keep having them. As you can tell, not my day today. Today is a I don't give a fuck day. So that's exactly what I'm doing, is just not caring about how mean the comment section is. They're so mean, and how mean YouTube is permanently. They're just super, super mean. But yes, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithms immensely, like really, really a lot. Yeah. Let me bring up I am not prepared today. I've been starting the show this week an hour later, because I'm trying to catch up on the sleep after last week's debacle. And it's just hard, like, trying to, like, not, because I'm epileptic, so like I need my sleep for some reason. Like, the lack of sleep makes me have seizures, and just trying to catch up on that, like, hours of lost sleep from the hospital last week is just been whooping my ass. I can't catch up at all. I woke up at, I woke up at like 10 o'clock today, so like an hour ago, and I went to bed at like 11:30 last night, and my body's just like, nah, Jimmy, you need more sleep. Like, that's just it. You just need more sleep. And it's driving me absolutely insane. My eyelashes are driving me insane too. I got some I officially have like more eyelashes than I could ever need. I've been literally running on two pairs of eyelashes for like 3 months now. And so I never wear them because it's just too much of a hassle to try to pull all the glue off, restart over again, all this stuff. So I got like a bunch of them, like a bunch of eyelashes, like at least 10. I know I have at least 10, but it came with this glue, and I'm used to buying like eyelash glue at like the liquor store or the dollar store, the cheap stuff. And I didn't this time. And holy fuck, my eyelids want to like glue themselves open. And, and it's wild. Yes. Chemical on Spotify. The song, yes, that's exactly how you spell it too. Thank you. Yeah. That song that he made was just something really quick, nothing like, super fancy or anything like that. There's actually music on his Spotify where he actually sings himself. So the boy's really, really talented. He's about 20, I think he's somewhere around 28 years old. He's been on like BET and MTV and things like that for like singing stuff back in his early 20s. So, and he's made a few albums on YouTube, but he's got like some songs on YouTube from back when he was still in high school. Like, the little boy is super, super musically talented. So that was just something that, like, hey, I got copyright. Can you make me something really quick to kind of tie over until I can, get another song, or till he can hook me up with another song. So yeah, that's what he did. That's my little brother, Chemical. I love him to death. He's so cool. Such a cute little butthead. He helps me out with so much. Like, I respect him more than anyone in the world. He is just the best brother ever. Don't have a brother, get yourself a brother. What else has happened to me? Nothing. I don't think I've done anything else since yesterday. Just hung around, did some, like I said, some YouTube analytics, uploading videos onto YouTube. I did some Fortnite with Sally yesterday, as usual. Always playing Fortnite with Sally and Josh and James, as always, my little squad. What else happened? That's about it. Me and my kid had some more good talks yesterday because she's, like she's a teenager, so she's gonna push boundaries and stuff. So I've been kind of like trying to stay strict as a parent because like I know that she made bad decisions last week, so she needs to stay punished. But then like also I'm like worried about her mental health, and like the crash was, extremely, to me, at least in my head, it would be extremely traumatic. So I'm empathizing with her, but I think I'm empathizing too much because like I'm letting her get away with so much shit. And so yesterday she's just started like pushing it a little too hard on me. Like just taking, like I kind of started, like, hey, I'm supposed to be punishing you. I'm, still allowing you to have your phone, which you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to go to your friend's house, but I'm allowing your friend to come over here and stay for an hour. I'm doing just the really good like I guess that, decent parenting stuff, trying to still be empathetic. But yesterday she kind of started taking advantage of me a little bit, started making me feel like guilty for not allowing her to talk to her friends. Because yesterday I just got to a point where like, all right, just, say goodbye to your boyfriend. You got to get off now. And so the whole like, it's not fair. This makes me happy. I'm still traumatized and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, now you're wanting attention. Like now you're pushing the buttons on that. So we had a good little talk yesterday about taking advantage of people and understanding that, I'm allowing her to do some stuff, but she still has to remember that she's punished, So, yeah. Aw, my bro got talent. Everybody needs, yes, exactly. Yes, you are. Everybody does need a brother. Having a brother is probably one of the greatest things ever. Like, I feel, no, the Kardashians do have a brother too. They're just really mean to him. But yeah, that's all that's been happening with me. That's it. Just trying to catch up on sleep mostly. Kitties. And I got my cat over here wanting to get into everything. I got a picture of one of the little kitties yesterday. Which one was it? It was Thing 2. The owner sent me pictures because he's getting so big. And Thing 2 was my little one. He was my tiny one that had the tummy problems. And so he's just getting so big. And she sent me pictures of him. He was like sleeping on the other kitty. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's getting so huge. And my biggest fear was like, I just hope he doesn't grow into his eyes, because he's just got these like big baby doll eyes. They're just absolutely huge and they're so cute and I love them so much. So she says he hasn't grown into his eyes yet, which is good. So he still looks like a little baby doll. But I got some pictures of some of the babies or one of the babies yesterday. That's really cool. Like the parents, like the adoptive parents of like the kitties that I helped raise, are like giving me updates on how they're doing. It's so cool. I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. I was so worried that I'd like never see them again. That was my biggest fear. And it's so good to see them. All right. So we've got some things to go over today. Some fun news, some serious news. And then at the end, I got some fun, scary videos, no movies. We'll watch another SCP video. I believe this SCP, which one are we going to learn about, is SCP-049. It's the Plague Doctor. So if you ever see those old pictures of like, the crow-looking plague masks, there's a Plague Doctor as well. He is definitely known in like, history during the plague, all that stuff. But he is an SCP. Crazy, right? That's what I love about the SCPs is like they take real life stuff, some real life stuff, and they turn it into like this scary thing that, you know, the secret government has to hide away from real people so people can live their regular lives. So we're going to learn about that. And then also I learned, I didn't learn a new fear. I just learned about a fear yesterday. Apparently this is a fear that people have. I watched tons of videos yesterday. I could not get myself scared. It was just not scary to me, but I'm not going to leave out the people that are scared of this. So we're going to be learning about liminal spaces and like games that are called the back rooms. It's kind of like if you're ever playing a video game and you glitch yourself outside of the map of the game, but in real life. So like if your body glitched outside of the matrix, these back room liminal spaces is what you would see. And it's supposed to be like millions of miles of mazes that you can't ever get out. They're saying that people that go in there never seem to get out. And so like they'll take pictures like an old abandoned mall or an old abandoned office or an old abandoned arcade. And they'll say, here's what a liminal space looks like. It's just like it's if you had a house or an apartment complex and just took out all of the furniture and just threw someone in there and said, this is 6 million miles, try to figure out a way to get out. You know, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like, I guess it's a fear of being forgotten about, which is a really interesting fear. So we'll be learning about that one later on today. But first, we'll start off with something, obviously it's new, so it's not going to be happy or anything. But this weekend, there was TwitchCon. TwitchCon is like Comic-Con, kind of like what Warren goes to, but it's for Twitch streamers and people who are interested in Twitch. We are also streaming on Twitch myself. Do you really? Hi, Roxy. Good morning. You like learning and watching about... See, I just learned about it yesterday, and it doesn't scare me. But I even played like one of the backroom games in Fortnite, and I was just like, this is really, really boring. But it's really cool to learn about other people's fears. So yeah, absolutely. We'll learn about that later on today, probably around like 1. Get all the news and stuff over and done with first. So this weekend, like I said, there's a TwitchCon. It's kind of like the Comic-Con convention, but it's for Twitch streamers, people that enjoy watching Twitch, anybody. It's just a convention for Twitch, for the Twitch thing. So they have like a bunch of really cool stuff there. One of the things that they had there was like the old like gladiator fighting, where they would stand on 2 podiums and 2 people would battle it out, and the first one to fall off would be the one to lose. The one that stayed would be the one to win. And so in here, this one, I guess she's a streamer and she's an adult performer. Her name is Adriana Chekchik, broke her back yesterday. A couple people end up getting hurt, or not yesterday, broke her back. A couple people got hurt during this because of this one little area, the pit itself. So in San Diego, a popular Twitch streamer and adult performer said she broke her back after leaping into a foam pit at TwitchCon. She said she broke her back in 2 places and she's getting surgery to put a meter rod in for support today. Send your support, she wrote. Wrote in her Twitter early on Sunday. She says, when it rains, it pours, and I'm definitely feeling the rain right now. Video of the moment was captured on a live stream and then shared to Reddit and social media. Showed the end of a foam sword fight between Chekchik and a person who later identified themselves as gaming streamer EddieBot. After EddieBot fell into the pit, Chekchik celebrated by jumping off into the air off a small podium, doing the split and then landing on her tailbone. She immediately writhed in pain, tried to exit, and then collapsed into the foam. Let's see if we can... Let's make it a little bit bigger for you guys. So here's the foam pit right here. Here's the 2 girls. This girl just fell off. What are you? Thank you. So there's her jump. Bam. So that jump right there is where all of that happened. She was fine, okay, for first. And now she's not. As you can see, she didn't do it okay. As you can see, I mean, even from the, girl, let me turn down the volume. Even from the girl sitting there, you could see that foam pit wasn't very tall at all. Like, look at the people standing right here. I mean, it doesn't look like there was a lot. She looks like she was in a lot of pain. Here, we'll play it again.
Oh my God! Big sense of her own.
That's man, poor girl. Let's continue reading. This person said, "Goddamn, I was there and caught it from a different angle. I knew she hurt herself, but not that it was this serious. Wishing you a speedy recovery." So here's another one.
On fight. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Big crosshead, lots of pressure.
Why are you acting? And that's where she hit. You can kind of see like the bounce, you know, right there. Bam! You saw the little like bouncy bounce that she did right there. That just shows that there was like maybe barely even some kind of padding inside of there, but not as deep, you know, as people think. I mean, if you look right here, that's not very deep at all. So these pads, you know, says probably the most painful thing I've seen in a while. Twitch streamer has confirmed she's broken her back. Oh, you're going to bring up the tweet. So there's another video of it. You see, she definitely hit that tailbone pretty damn hard. The foam pit was organized by computer maker Lenovo and was part of their Legion by Lenovo booth at the convention. Others on social media also said that they have been injured in the same pit. So as you can see, be careful on this thing. I'm currently at the hospital seeing if I broke anything. This girl right here dislocated her knee, as you can see in the picture. So she got hurt as well. Let's see. This one says it's been an overwhelming 48 hours, but I'm okay and back at home resting. When BuzzFeed News visited the foam pit Sunday, it was closed, but it had been open earlier in the day. The foam prices felt somewhat squishy, or the foam pieces felt somewhat squishy, but were still rather firm. And BuzzFeed News estimated the pit was less than 2 feet deep at one point. Some kind of mat appeared to be underneath the foam, covering the convention center concrete floor, which is crazy. Like, it's literally concrete. Probably a little, like, what do they do? Like those, like the gymnast pads or the wrestling pads. And then these foam things, which, you know, you land on them and they just fall, you know, they go out the opposite ways of where you're falling. You're going to end up landing on that pad. They should have had a lot more padding. According to one British manufacturer of foam pits, standard gymnastic pits should be at least 6 feet deep with a base liner foam to help absorb the shock. USA Gymnastics has said that foam pits vary from 4 to 8 feet in depth and are typically built on a trampoline foundation. See, that's what it should have been. From what I heard, they were cutting costs and cutting corners, all kinds of things at this TwitchCon. Twitch definitely was cutting corners on paying people as well. I guess a lot of the streamers that were expected to get paid a certain amount didn't get paid a certain amount. So it looks like they were just trying to gyp a lot of people to get this event going. A volunteer at the Lenovo booth declined to identify themselves, saying they were not authorized to speak with the media, but did say that they have rules for the foam pit and they explain the rules. A person who said they worked for the builder of the booth and who also declined to identify themselves told BuzzFeed News only, "We won't be adding any comment at this time." So as you can see, like, this person is standing right here. All right, there's a person. There's their feet. There's their knees. It's like right below their knees. This thing should have been at least 4 feet. So a little bit higher than that. You know, it should have been way, way, way higher than what it is. It looks like they added more foam right there to make it look like it was really, really padded, but it's obviously, I mean, definitely not very padded whatsoever. They're saying that a Lenovo spokesperson sent BuzzFeed News this statement on Tuesday. "We are aware of the incidents of TwitchCon visitors who sustained injuries in the Gladiator Game Soft foam pit at the Lenovo booth. Safety remains our top priority." Bullshit, or else it would have remained their top priority at the beginning instead of cutting corners. A Twitch spokesperson said they had no comment as of Sunday afternoon because they were trying to gather more information. Convention volunteers told BuzzFeed News that they had been near the pit Saturday. He just saw the paramedics come by twice. Some guy said he witnessed her injury. She was doing a regular gameplay, but unfortunately during her victory dance, she fell and landed where she was good for a minute or so. This lady has more than 3.8 million followers on Instagram, where she streams herself playing games, making ASMR content, and performing stunts. Stunts. She has repeatedly been a nominee for Female Performer of the Year at the Adult Video News Awards, Porn Awards. Update says this story has been updated with a statement from Lenovo, but I don't see it. Where is it? It says 5 hours ago, so where's the update? Send me to the update, BuzzFeed. This is why I don't like them. I hate BuzzFeed. They suck. They suck. Yeah, they're not going to give us the rest of it. So there it is right there. Yeah, ouch. That's absolutely, it's gross. It's sad. It's gross what they're doing, cutting corners. And now they're going to have to pay the full price. So yeah, pretty much is what they did. Like if you look right here, I mean, here's the concrete. It looks like they put like a tiny little pad, like I said, one of those really thin like gymnastics pads, and then just filled the rest up with these foam things. This should have been a lot deeper than what it is. From at least safety concerns, this should have been a lot higher. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's what happens, you know. Cutting corners is kind of like the name of the game in capitalism. So that's what we got to deal with. But hopefully the girl is doing well. I'm pretty sure she's going to sue the crap out of the company. So, and then the other girl who broke her leg. So we'll see what happens. It seems like Twitch is not taking responsibility for this, and they're trying to put the blame on Lenovo, but the event itself is called TwitchCon, so there's got to be some type of responsibility from TwitchCon on this situation, because, you know, Twitch is supposed to be there to help make sure that the safety protocols are met. If those safety protocols aren't met, then they shouldn't even be having a booth there. At least that's what I think should happen at convention centers, especially with like you allowing lots of companies coming in to sell their stuff in your area. You would at least want the people that are coming in, the consumers, to be safe. So we'll see what happens. It's still kind of new. We have no idea what will happen yet, but yeah. So next, some interesting news out of Iran. So some hackers took over the media or the state media and did some like anonymous shit, you know, like the anonymous back in the day anonymous stuff, not like the QAnon nowadays kind of stuff, the cooler anonymous people back in the day that used to hack into stuff. So it looks like, let's just read it. State television channels in Iran were hacked over the weekend with images of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. No, I'm not going to say it. The female victims of this regime, including Masa Amini, were shown during the news bulletin. So here's like some updated stuff on, hey girl, hey. What's up, girl? Good to see you over on Twitch. Some of these videos are going to show like October 9th, I believe. Wasn't that was like 2 days ago. Okay, so like maybe some updates of what's happening out there, some videos and stuff of that too. So this person says teenage schoolgirls march in the city of Iraq today chanting death to the dictator before riot police fire rubber bullets and tear gas at them on day 24 of nationwide protests in Iran after the death of Masa Amini. And so here's some video of girls out protesting. Obviously what it's saying, marching in the city of Iraq, not Iraq, but Arak, A-R-A-K. So at this university, students in Tehran paint their hands blood red in memory of Masa Amini and all the protesters who have been killed during the ongoing wave of unrest in Iran. So here's them doing some more protesting. So hackers flashed pictures of the 22-year-old Amini, who died after being arrested and beaten by Iran's morality police for not wearing a hijab properly last month, alongside other women allegedly killed during the protest. 15-second hack displayed rebellious slogans such as "Join us" and "Stand up," beside texts criticizing their leader's regime, blaming him for the death of several women since the riot began on September 17th. As protests enter its fourth week, Iran authorities continue their clampdown on demonstrators, causing further casualties. So in this footage that was sent to Hengar in delay due to the internet problems, shows how the plainclothes forces have attacked the Kia Pride car, which its owner was slain shortly. I hope it doesn't give me a warning, so it's not trigger warning or anything. Looks like just some regular people beating down on a car. Right, Yona? Definitely Iran needs to smoke more weed. For sure. Especially the leaders. Leaders need to get some fucking in their system. I don't know if we can show that. Okay. Looks like they took care, or they did something really bad to that guy. According to the German-based Organization for Human Rights, at least 2 people were killed on Saturday when the state's riot police confronted mass protesters. 2 people were killed. At least 70 people have been injured by security forces. A footage posted on Twitter showed a man shot to death inside of his car, which is what we just saw. Hopefully that doesn't get us in trouble. A Paris-based organization, Kurdistan Human Rights Network, said the man was shot after driving through the main thoroughfare and honking at security forces positioned on the streets. According to NBC News, honking has turned into a call for civil disobedience. In an interview with the semi-official IRNA news agency over the weekend, an official from Kurdish police denied they were responsible for the man's death, insisting that the police were not present at the scene and do not use live rounds. Wait, what? An official from Kurdish police denied they were responsible for the man's death. Oh, God. In the northeastern city of Mashhad, protesters set a police car on fire, chanting "This is the regime's end," and throwing Molotov cocktails at nearby riot police. This is it, I believe. That's crazy. Security forces fired tear gas and bullets at protesters, injuring several. Protesters have escalated throughout the country following the deaths of 2 teenage girls, Serena, 16, and Nika, 17. On Friday, the Chief Justice of Alborz Province, Hossein Fazeli Hirikandi, said that a preliminary investigation showed Mielzadeh has died by suicide after falling from a 5-story building. We will not be watching that because that is an actual video of a passed away girl on there. Human rights groups, including Amnesty International, believe that her death that she was killed by security forces when she was struck with batons on the head during a protest. Nika went missing on September 20th. A few days later, her family found her body in a morgue at a detention center in Tehran. Nika's aunt told the BBC that when we went to identify her, they didn't allow us to see her body, only her face for a few seconds, which is really sad. I believe this is the state-run media that got hacked right here. So there was a little bit more. I'm not why it's showing the rest of it. This lady said her daughter sustained blunt force trauma to the head before her body was stolen and buried in a remote area without the family's knowledge. On Friday, the superintendent of the Criminal Prosecutor's Office of Tehran province released a statement that said Nika's body was found in a backyard of a house in Tehran on the 21st of September, and the autopsy found no trace of bullets in her body. You got to love the corruptness out there. According to some human rights groups, at least 185 people, including children, have been killed in demonstrations since September 17th. Sorry, I got a kitty on me, and he just wants to bug. That's all you want to do is bug, huh? That's all you want to do is just bug. Where is there was like showing, here, let's head over to YouTube. Iraq media hacked. Let's see if we can find the video. So, all right, here we go.
Well, digital activists supporting Iran's wave of women-led protests have hacked a state television live news broadcast, superimposing flames on the face of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. "The blood of our youths is on your hands," reads a message on screen. Meantime, video shared on social media also appears to show female students chanting "Raisi, get lost" during a visit to a university by the country's President Ibrahim Raisi. It follows 4 weeks of protest after the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini while she was in the custody of Iran's morality police. And the regime in Tehran accuses foreigners of inciting the protests, and last week announced that it had arrested 9 European nationals. While their culpability may be in question, it's clear that people outside Iran are outraged by the Islamic Republic's treatment of women. Over the weekend, thousands of them took to the streets around the world.
Freedom for Iran is what these protesters in London are chanting for. They are here to show support for Iranians standing up against their leadership. Some are waving Iran's pre-1979 flag from before the revolution that brought Islamists to power.
44 years, this regime, Islamic regime, they are torturing, executing, prisoning people without any reason. At the moment, they are killing people on the streets just because they are have a demonstration.
In Italy, people gathered outside the Iranian embassy in solidarity with Iranian women.
It is necessary to stand with the Iranian people and with Iranian women, because we know they're victims of a criminal system that humiliates women and tortures them. Iranian women face prison every day for these demonstrations.
So yeah, I thought they were going to show like a better picture. I guess that would be the picture right there. Like if you, hold on. So like right there next to the dude in the picture, do you see that? Like it almost kind of looks like a anonymous mask, but a little bit different right here in that picture. That's another picture that they were using. So kind of like look like this mask, but it's their version of it. So which was really, really neat what they're doing over there. Hacking in, typical anonymous stuff, hacking into the media to tell people to keep, doing what they're doing, and they're doing good. That's the kind of anonymous stuff that I used to like live for back in the day. Like I was such a stupid little fan of anonymous. I'm like, you guys are so cool. But then like factions of anonymous kind of spread out everywhere and did their own versions of their own thing. And now we have different types of anon people, but like the original ones, the ones that hack into state media and tell people to keep fighting for your freedoms and stuff. Those are the cool ones that I always used to really like back in the day. The ones that would try to attack the corrupt people, So that's what happened over there in Iran. It looks like the people are still fighting. They're still protesting, still wanting things changed back to the way it was before the revolution. So that was interesting. Habitual policy violator. Yep. It's like once you get on the eye of like, YouTube is like the eye of Sauron. Like once he sees you, that's it. Like you can't get out of his eyesight anymore. And I fucked up yesterday. So no more movies. We won't be watching movies anymore, but we will be watching Yona music videos and Warren Comic-Con trip videos. So I've got some other stuff for today that we don't have to watch a movie over. I hope you guys watched that movie yesterday too, though, because that movie is still sick. Even though YouTube sucks, that movie was awesome. What is this? Okay, so what else? Police are even worse against protest here. Who's kidding who? Yeah, I know. They're vicious here too. We need like cool anonymous people out here. We need to get rid of QAnon and bring back like the original anonymous people. What? You got suspended yesterday on Facebook? I haven't posted anything in a while on there. That's weird. That's weird. I don't understand why they would do that. I don't even go on, like I go on my Facebook still a little bit here and there, but man, I'm having more fun over on Twitter now. I used to enjoy Facebook, but now it's like anytime I post anything, people are like, I don't know, they just do like weird comments. It's just like a bunch of older people, that just don't make any sense. What? What are you questioning me for? Why did you get suspended yesterday? Yeah, you rarely go on there, but still, it's wild over there. Like I was saying, it's like a bunch of older people that just want to sit there and like tell you that your post is like unnecessary or distracting or like your opinion is wrong. It's just a bunch of old whiner babies over there. At least in Twitter, like you can have fun. There's still like trolling is allowed. Over on Facebook, it's like I'll post up a funny meme on Facebook and I'll get like a bunch of likes. People will enjoy it. But then like I put something up serious and like no one will like it. And everybody's got to comment on it and talk their own opinion on certain things. Like it's just become like it's like a retirement home over there. So I'm starting to get more into Twitter, which I've never have. I've only been on Twitter for like a couple of years. And just recently probably within this year is when I started using it the most. And just recently within this week, I started using it even more. Like after the accident last week, I didn't even want to put the accident up onto Facebook because I just knew it would be a whole bunch of just old people telling me some bullshit that I didn't really care about. And at least when I put it up on Twitter, like, Mad Crab was like, that's badass. And like we were calling her an NPC and we were having fun with it. Like if I posted that on Facebook, good Lord, I'd be like, there would be people in my comment section like prayers, and all this stuff. And like, I'm going to pray for you. And you shouldn't be putting your stuff on social media or whatever. I don't even know what they would say. It's just no fun over there. Twitter is so much more fun now. Yeah, that's what we did. Us on Twitter, we called her an NPC. We were saying that she she was playing GTA in real life, and everybody's like, well, then what is she? Was she the main character, you know, that stole the vehicle? And I'm like, no, she's the NPC that gets in the car with the main character who stole the car. We had fun. We had fun. Sam had a good laugh too. So Sam got to see all of it and have a good laugh about it. And she thinks it's really, really funny. And she thought it was cool that some people thought that she was badass, you know? In the Facebook world, you would never get that kind of stuff. Like, you would never get people like, oh my God, I hope she's okay. But still, that was fucking sick. You know, you would never get that in Facebook. In Twitter, yeah. And that's what I wanted her to. I wanted her to at least not feel traumatized by the situation. Yes, it was scary. Yes, it was terrifying. Yes, things could have gone a lot worse, but it didn't. So let's not try to mentally traumatize her and just, you know, try to have fun with it. Make it seem like she was in a video game. So yeah. NPC. You changed your picture today. No more pretty face. You changed it because I was showing your face off yesterday, huh? I see how you are. I see how you are. All right. Let me get a drink of this and then we'll get started on the next one. So the next one, yeah, exactly. Facebook equals meme hell. Hey, but you can get some traction on there as long as you're just a meme god. Like, if you're just a meme person all day long and that's all you post is memes, you can get some good traction on Facebook. But anything else, don't do it. You're just going to get a bunch of old people wanting to pray for you and telling you that, like, what you did wrong and what you should do better. Judgmental motherfuckers. But memes, that's the way to go. Okay, so the next one we have. So this happened a few days ago, but I thought that it would be really interesting to watch. It's only a clip of it. It's not the full thing. If anyone has Apple Plus TV and knows how to hook it up over here, I don't have any Apple products, but I really want the Problem with Jon Stewart show. I want to be able to watch it, and I can't. So this is just a little clip of Jon Stewart. He interviewed the Arkansas Attorney General, Leslie Rutledge, and this is him pretty much talking about the trans community. And I just really loved the way that he said it. Like, he started really some new good talking points that a lot of us people haven't really thought about to even say yet. So I thought this was going to be really good. What's up, Ghost Star? Good morning. Good vibes. Good to see you. Kitty, stop. I got like a bag of potatoes, and my cat has been opening it up and trying to eat the potatoes. It's so weird. I don't know what his obsession is with the potato, but he likes it. I'm thinking about just giving him one after I Google it and see if it's safe for them to eat. Hey, pss, 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 pss. Hey, that's a potato. He's just eating it now. Should I just Google it really quick and see if potatoes are safe for cats? Are potatoes safe for cats? Hold on. Let's Google this really quick, because I'm just about to let him have it, and I don't want to let him have it. Can cats eat potatoes? Everybody loves potatoes. In small amounts, plain cooked potatoes are not harmful. However, the ingredients used to make mashed potatoes, no. Peeled and roasted, prepared. Wait. Most do not choose to eat potatoes. Cats often love various textures and enjoy them as a healthy snack. Cats can eat potatoes, and they may find them tasty. A treat or two of sweet potatoes. See, they're like saying that I have to like cook it though. This cats can eat potatoes. They may find them tasty. Potato ingredients. I'm reading it. It's telling me that they can eat potatoes, but I'm not sure if here, let me share it with you guys. It says eaten in small amounts, plain cooked potatoes are not harmful. The mashed potatoes, I don't care. We're not going to make him mashed potatoes. I just want to know what happens if a cat eats a potato. Potato toxicity. Yeah, it's raw. Like he's just chewing it right, like trying to get it right out of the bag. Can be fatal if your pet has ingested parts of a raw potato or potato plant, including peelings, contact. Okay. So you need to stay away from the potato, bro. You're like trying to like kill yourself over here. Hey, Mr. Unalive. All right. No potatoes for the kitty cat. He cannot have potatoes. Yeah, raw. Yeah, you have to cook them first because they are toxic if eaten raw. Okay. I know, that's why I was Googling it. It's because I was like, should I just give him a potato? But no potatoes for you, mister. Hey, come here. Come here. No potatoes for you today. You can't have it. No to potatoes. Say no on the potatoes. All right. No potatoes for him. He wants it really bad, but he can't. Hook him up with a baked potato or some waffle fries. Ooh, do you hear that? Do you want me to bake you a potato today? I can give you some mashed potatoes. Well, just boiled potatoes. How about that? You want some potatoes today? Because I see you eyeing that. Yeah, he's like wanting that potato so bad. Huh. You just want that potato. He's so cute. Look at him. This is just what he does. He's so ridiculous. What are you doing, buddy? I got to do the news. Hey. All right, I'm going to have to try to do the news like this. All right, we will bring in the Jon Stewart. So like I was saying, Jon Stewart interviewed Attorney General from Arkansas, Leslie Rutledge. Yeah, death by potato. Exactly. That's a big no-no for you, sir. And I thought he did a really good interview with her. She definitely stands her ground, but he made some really good talking points that a lot of us activists haven't even thought of yet to use. It is not Izzy. This is Burton. Like, this is Mr. Burton. The only way I can tell them apart now is because Izzy looks just like this, but what are you doing? But her hair is shorter. He's got longer hair, but he's starting to look like Izzy so much. That's Mr. Burton. Burton? What's up, Burton? What's up, buddy? Yeah, no, that's Burton. He's so big. I just I'll send you a picture of Thing 2. I just got some pictures of Thing 2 yesterday, and he's getting so big too. Like he's laying with their other cat. They have like an orange cat, and he's laying with them, and he's just getting so big. Like his paws are just enormous compared to the size of him still, but he's still like getting big, and it's super cute. Mr. Burton is like that too. He's getting so big. You see? Look at how big he is. Look at you. You just take it, don't you? You just take whatever I give you. And this is the only way I can tell them apart. Like, see how floofy he is? He's like super, super floofy. And Izzy is not super, super floofy. She's got short hair. Huh, Mr. Burton. He just takes everything I give him. It's so great. Okay. Yes, they got big. Let's get on to, you good? You good? Okay. Let's get on to this Jon Stewart video. I'm going to make it look the way that I like. There we go. I'm digging this. I can't wait. I'm going to put like a green screen right here. So that way y'all won't be able to see shit. And it'll just be me like a floating body. Ooh, just like right here. It's going to be cool. Once I figure things out. Because StreamYard is a little different than OBS, but there are some similarities if you can trick it. It's like having a crappy video editor, but knowing all the tricks of like Adobe Premiere. So you just go in there and you see all the preset buttons, and you're like, all right, how do I jank this into making it work the way I want it to? He is getting so handsome. I'm loving him. He's not afraid of anything. He plays with the dogs. He plays with all the animals. He's such a great little boy. Okay, here we go. Jon Stewart. Like I said, if anyone has Apple TV Plus and knows how to hook it up over here with a person who doesn't own any Apple products, I would love to be able to watch the full episodes of these Jon Stewart interviews and like his shows and stuff. I really, really like Jon Stewart. Okay, here we go.
Would the state of Arkansas step in to override parents, physicians, psychiatrists, endocrinologists who have developed guidelines? Why would you override those guidelines?
Well, I think it's important that all of those physicians, all of those experts, for every single one of them, there's an expert that says we don't need to allow children to be able to take those medications. That there are many instances where...
But you know that's not true. You know it's not for everyone. There's one. These are the established...
Well, I don't know that that's not true. I don't know that...
Then why would you pass a law then if you don't know that that's true? Wouldn't you?
Well, I know that there are doctors and that we had plenty of people come and testify before our legislature who said that, we have 98% of the young people who have gender dysphoria, that they are able to move past that. And once they have the help that they need, no longer suffer from gender dysphoria. 98% without that medical treatment.
That's an incredibly made up figure.
You see how he does that, like the way that he does it, because yes, there are scientists that say, like scientists have lots of different answers when it comes to those kind of things. They all have their own variety of answers, but like the common, this is what it is what it is, that it's the study, it's the practice. I want to know if this is actually a made up number too. Like, we'll see. Yeah. Wow. I did not know that. When did he do that? I'll have to watch that. I have no idea about that. That's not good.
That doesn't comport with any of the studies or documentation that exists from these medical organizations. What medical association are you talking about of these doctors?
Well, we have all of that in our legislative history, and we'll be glad to provide that to you. I don't have the name of that off the top of my head. I know it's something that...
You don't have the name of the organization that you're getting that
off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
But yes, we have all of that cited in all of our briefs.
You're suggesting that protecting children means overriding the recommendations of the American Medical Association, the American Association of Pediatrics, the Endocrine Society.
We don't have enough data. We don't have enough to show that these drugs are effective and that these children are better off, and that we should encourage these.
Or it's not enough for you. Let me try and flip it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is the medication that they have for puberty blockers, the information that they have for that, is that enough, or is that not enough, or is that not enough for her? Because puberty blockers are also used for acne and other things for kids other than puberty blockers. So yeah, watch this. I'm gonna go stop the cat from eating the potato
a different way and see if maybe this can help. In Arkansas, if you have pediatric cancer, and obviously we all want to protect children, I think we established that earlier, whose guidelines do you follow for pediatric cancer?
Well, I think if my child, who is 4, if I was faced with that terrible decision, then I would be speaking to my doctor. And if my doctor recommended something that I disagreed with, then I would get a second opinion. And that's what I believe that these parents need to make sure that they're encouraged to get numerous opinions when they're talking about an irreversible step.
You're not letting them. The state's not saying get another opinion. What they're saying is you can't. What you're actually saying is the opposite.
not at all what the state said. The state simply said that you cannot perform these procedures. And so parents should get another opinion and children should want to have another
But
opinion.
that's not.
Because again, these are 9, 10, 11,
So if your
12-year-olds.
child is suffering from pediatric cancer,
what an accent. Yeah, it's like the New Jersey of the South, right? What the but he's Jewish talking point is no longer valid. Right. No, I totally agree.
and the state comes in and says to you, they recommend chemotherapy, but we're not going to let you do that. You can't. We think you should get a different opinion. And here's the organization we think you should get the opinion from. They're not the mainstream, but they're an organization. So that's who you have to be treated by. Does that sound like something you would
Well,
accept?
I think that's a very extreme example. That's not at all in line with what we're talking about. We're not saying that at some point, because when you have cancer, it literally is, and particularly pediatric cancer, and having friends that have lost children
Sure.
to pediatric cancer, having a 4-year-old, I'm sure.
I've got some bad news for you. Parents with children who have gender dysphoria have lost children to suicide and depression
They absolutely
because it's
have.
acute. And so these mainstream medical organizations have developed guidelines through peer-reviewed data and studies. And through those guidelines, they've improved mental health outcomes. So I'm confused why you follow AMA guidelines and AAAP guidelines for all other health issues in Arkansas, because we checked, but not for this.
And see, that's the kind of point that he was trying to make that I thought was a really good point. It's like, you listen to the medical professionals and the approved guidelines of what to do and what not to do for medical assessments and procedures for everything else, cancer, like he was saying, ER visits, broken bones, everything else, but this one thing. It is slightly disingenuous, but I think the point that he was going towards is like what I was just saying, is the fact that she'll look at all the other medical problems in her community, in hospitals and stuff, and listen to the professionals on that, except for this one instance, the gender dysphoria instance. So, yeah, did God speak to her?
Simply saying, let those young people who are facing gender confusion and dysphoria, allow them to become adults and to make that decision. Allow a child to be a child.
So here's where we have our crossroads. You've made the determination that protecting these children means not giving them access to the guidelines and care that have been designed by medical and mental health professionals for children expressing gender dysphoria. And I'm asking you again, what are your qualifications to step in and say, no, keeping you from that care is protecting you. You've made that determination.
Well, these are irreversible decisions that these children at these young ages are making, or that their
They're
parents
not
are
making
making.
the decision. You're making it sound like a 9-year-old walks into a doctor's office and says, give me some testosterone. And the doctor goes, oh, thank God, because we're wanting to create an army of transgenders because we're crazy. And they go right in like,
No, we passed a law to protect the children in Arkansas. And I think that's what is important.
And that's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off with her and the wording of all of this stuff. Like, they're doing it to protect the children. Like, did you know that my mom used to say that to me when she sent me to boot camp? It's for your protection. My mom, when I went to jail, my mom never even came to say hi to me. It's for your protection. It just seemed, I remember growing up in a very, very Christian conservative family, and any kind of punishment that I would get from my family, it was for my safety. It was because they loved me. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're going to do all this bad stuff against what I feel like, was at least semi whatever. Like, I'm just living my life as a teenager. and trying to cope around this family lifestyle that I was born into. And so I just do one little thing wrong and it's punishment for my safety. Like bam, bam, bam. And I don't like the whole, punishment on top of punishment on top of punishment on top of punishment. Like there's got to be a breaking point to where we coincide and we look at the people that are doing this and saying, what can we do? Like what is this that we need to do to help? Not just make the decisions, this is for your safety. I always know that when Christian conservatives say this is for your safety or this is to protect children, it's usually not. When conservatives say they want to protect children, but then they allow Catholic priests to do things to little kids and then just move them to another area, and let them continue. Or what's up, babe?
Sorry. Do you have anything outside? There's lightning and thunder going on right now. We're about to start getting big.
No. We've got rain yesterday and I fixed everything. I covered it all up.
Right. All right, I love you.
Yeah, we're rain prepped for today. I love you. Have a good day at work. But yeah, for the children, but then, like the Catholic priest or or a police officer does something. And so they move him to another area, it's all of that. That's the kind of thing that makes me mad. It's like, it's for your safety. We're doing it to protect the children, but it's never really to protect children. It's more of a control thing. Like, it's like I'm the grown up, you're the child, I'm right, you're wrong. Like Matilda, like that movie Matilda, where it's like I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. It's like that kind of thing. And as a kid, like I could be right too. Like there's a and that's how I look at my kids. Like no matter what I say to them and no matter what I think, like times have changed. And maybe what I thought of as growing up saying I'm going to do this differently as a parent and now I'm doing it might not be exactly what my kid wants or needs right now. I don't have any transitioning children. I have children that are my children are part of the LGBTQ plus community, but they're not trans. And we'll watch a video because there's a video on here as well, of him talking to some trans parents too. And you'll see like, it's not just like this clean cut situation that these conservatives are saying. And Jon Stewart really helped open people's minds, or at least helped open my mind to it a little bit more. Let's finish watching and then we'll watch some of the video of the parent.
Again, the medical community disagrees with you that
Well,
that's
not all of the
protecting children.
medical community.
Who doesn't?
We have had experts testify here in Arkansas.
Okay. From what medical organizations?
Well, we have all of those in our briefs, and I apologize that I wasn't prepared to have a Supreme Court argument today in front of you, but we are going to have arguments on this case.
Right.
She literally went in to get interviewed by Jon Stewart and didn't expect him to do this kind of stuff. Like, this is what these guys do, especially Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is really good when it comes to questioning and in interviews. And if he didn't, then, let me say good hello, Holly. Sorry, good to see you. Okay, you guys are all just saying hello to each other. Okay. Yeah, see, this is somebody. I think Ghost Start said that as well earlier too. Like, I'm gonna have to look for a video of this. I have never heard of this before. This is something completely new to me. Okay, so it's definitely new to you too? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to maybe I'll just Google it or something, or we'll just look it up right now once this is over. This thing only has 20 seconds left.
When the time comes.
Just kidding. It had 1 second left. So here in the problem with Jon Stewart, here's one of the some parents.
It's a real hot button issue in this country right now, a culture war issue. The critics are saying that gender affirming care is nothing more than woke doctors and woke parents and activists manipulating confused children into mutilations and life-altering experimental drug therapies. Now, you both have children. What's your experience been with this?
Well, it's interesting that, folks might say that these are woke parents, because my husband and I weren't really woke about this. We had a child who was telling us that she's been a girl her whole life, and we were not really listening. So I'm not sure how woke we were.
Right.
I kind of wish we were more woke. I wish we had been able to hear her sooner. It took us a few years to really listen and appreciate that she was telling us who she was. And when we did, she was like a new child. She just literally lit up, woke up. She woke up when we supported her. We said, we recognize that this is who you are, and we're going to support you in our house, and we're going to support you in your life.
And see, that's it. Like, it wasn't the parents forcing, it wasn't the parents making it. I mean, yes, this is anecdotal evidence. This is just one situation, but this is the story, at least in my own personal anecdotal evidence life. The stories of my trans friends and stuff like that, they literally transitioned. I mean, a lot of them didn't even have like this parental structure of years of telling their parents, and then their parents saying, oh, okay, well, then we're finally going to listen to you. I have a friend who still to this day, his mother thinks that he is still a female. So a lot of my friends, at least in my own personal life, a lot of my friends transitioned on their own accord. And this is the life that they have now because they weren't accepted as who they wanted to be by their parents. How do you explain that? How do you explain that to people who say that, their parents are forcing them to do this, or, they're just doing it because it's a fad or something? Like, it can't be a fad if there's literally thousands and thousands of transitioned people out there that are happy. And like, yes, absolutely. There's a small, okay, good. You sent it to me in Slack. I'll look it up. Thank you, Holly. But there's still like a lot of kids that are just out there doing it on their own without their parents' help. They didn't do this with their parents' help. I'm looking for it, Holly. I don't see it in Slack yet. Is that Wednesday? October 5th is the last one that I have from you. And that was the one that we did last week, the OPEC article. I did not get it in Slack yet. It's not there. Okay, we'll finish watching this. You sent it in a personal message in Slack, Holly? Because, yeah, I'm looking right. Yeah, the last one I'm seeing from you in Slack is the... Oh, there it is. Okay, it just popped in. Okay. Oh, that is a long article. All right, copy. Here, let's finish watching this while I look for the article.
And when that happened, she's like, this is amazing. She really didn't have words for it as a 10-year-old. She'd been telling us since she was 3. And since that time, what we deal with now is a child who is now almost going to college.
Right.
She's in high school. And I told someone the other day, I said, her being trans is the least interesting thing about her.
Right. Is this your experience as well? Was it something that shocked you? Was it something that was difficult for you to accept?
Yes, it was completely out of my realm of understanding. I was very conservative, evangelical, Southern Baptist, GOP. But at the age of 4, Avery said, Mom, you think that I'm a boy, but I'm a girl. I'm a girl on the inside, and very directly told us. We had no idea what that meant. Again, it was out of our thinking. We thought maybe we have a gay boy who's confused.
We thought the same thing.
We went to ask questions. We talked to doctors. We went to endocrinologists just to check the XXXYs, all the things. And we had to come to understand that our child knew who they were. And mind you, they're 15 now. This was more than a decade ago.
Right.
They weren't influenced by TikTok. They weren't on Facebook. At 4.
So you're saying this is YouTube?
Yeah, clearly. Maybe a MySpace page.
Sure.
They stumbled across.
You're saying that Friendster.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Now,
like, they're making a joke out of it, but it is a little bit more of a proof. that, you know, these kids are doing this at a really young age, figuring out whether or not they want to be a boy or a girl, and that they feel, you know, all of that. Uh-oh. Oh, no, what? Off to get pizza? All right. Be back. All right. All right. Dag. Jimmy? Uh-oh. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Please tell me that they didn't end my broadcast on YouTube like they did yesterday. Did they end me? Are we good? Am I ended? I'm like gonna have to keep my freaking YouTube up from now on because I swear that stuff scares the poo-poos out of me. Oh my gosh, they did it again. I got policy violations again. I'm on Twitch still. LOL. I think. I can't believe they did this to me again. It says I'm live. I'm about to be like done with YouTube forever because this is crap. I'm about to be like done with YouTube forever. Oh, look, I'm back. Wait, am I back? I am back. Oh my gosh. That makes no sense. So what, am I just not allowed to watch this video now? Is that what it is? I'm just not allowed to watch this. I'm just not allowed to watch this. I'm not allowed to watch anything. I'm really like in their like eye scope. See what I was telling you earlier? It's like they're like the eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Like once it sees me, that's it. Like it never takes its eyes off of me, and it's not fair. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Like the first week was great. No problems whatsoever. Now all of a sudden they want to do this to me. Here, let's read the I'm just going to read what Holly sent, since it's not a video. It's a freaking an article. Let's read an article. So yeah, no sense at all. I don't get it either. I don't understand what's going on. It hates me. That's cool. Do you guys hear it? There's thunder over my house right now, like some major thundering right now over my house. And that is way cool. I'm about to open up a window so I can hear it better because that sounds neat. Okay, so let's read about all of this. Jon Stewart honors Azov Battalion. I wonder if somebody's like reporting my videos. I don't know. Okay. Jon Stewart honors Azov Battalion at Pentagon-funded Disney World event. So comedian Jon Stewart honored a member of the notorious neo-Nazi Ukrainian Azov Battalion with a heart of the tea. Isn't he Jewish? Are they going to take his card? Oh, no. Throughout the event, U.S. Army veterans and delegations from the armed forces of allied countries compete in various athletic events intended to celebrate the U.S. military growth. First held in 2010, the games are essentially a propaganda effort by the Department of Defense intended to promote militarism and cover up the bloody consequences of the U.S. military wars for global hegemony. Get it? Who is this? World Socialist website? Nice. They know how to talk. Oh, I don't know who this this scammer is right here. But look, we got a scammer in the tweet. Look at it. He's in Twitch right now, but have a good broadcast. Catch promo code 10 viewers, blah, 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 blah. We could do everything. Tired of ads, write us and we'll turn it off. Google us, get viewers pro. Oh, the ads. Sorry, you guys. I think I'm good on my own. I'll pass. Thanks, though. It's the first one you found? Okay, well, it's really good so far. I'm really loving the verbiage on here. So the presence of the Azov veteran Ihor Halushka was first reported by Alexander Rubinstein for the Gray Zone, an outlet that has been backing the oligarch Putin regime war. When questioned by the Gray Zone on who funded the presence of neo-Nazi Azov battalion members at a Department of Defense sponsored event, the Pentagon refused to disclose who was footing the bill. Halushka was not the only Ukrainian far-right element present, along with U.S. veterans and a team from Canada. 40 veterans from the Ukrainian Armed Forces participated in the games. The Ukrainian team included Yulia, a prominent former member of notorious neo-Nazi parliamentary organization in Ukraine, the Right Sector. And the Right Sector was heavily involved in U.S.-orchestrated 2014 coup that toppled a pro-Russian government in Kiev. Since 2018, Paviska has been a member of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. In March, while accepting a gold medal for indoor rowing, Halushka prominently sported the Azov t-shirt. Later, as he was receiving the Heart of the Team award from Stewart, Halushka was conspicuously wearing a red sleeve on his left arm. Photos uncovered by the Gray Zone demonstrate that Halushka also possesses a black sun or a Sonnenrad tattoo on his left arm, which is popular among white supremacists and neo-Nazis worldwide. Damn, either Halushka or his Pentagon host must have decided that the neo-Nazi tattoo might hurt the pro-war PR event. Earlier in May, a white supremacist mass shooter killed 10 black people at the Top supermarket in Buffalo while wearing the same Sonnenrad logo tattooed on Halushka's elbow. Stewart. Oh, that was a good thunder. Stewart proclaimed that Ihor inspires his team with his personal example and his unique sense of humor. Sergeant First Class Ihor Halushka embodies the spirit and determination that is the heart of Team Ukraine. Racism? Okay, so I said it correctly. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Whether Stewart was ignorant of or indifferent to Halushka's ties to a violent neo-Nazi organization, his appearance at an event dedicated to promoting the bloody machinery of U.S. militarism is indicative of the far-right shift of an entire layer of very well-paid Democratic Party-aligned celebrities and pseudo-comedians. Last year, Stewart appeared on Stephen Colbert's Late Show, where he ranted against science and endorsed the racist Wuhan lab lie that had been first concocted by fascists like Steve Bannon. At the time, the WSWS commented that Stewart, much like the Glenn Greenwald and other former opponents of the Iraq War in the upper middle class, had been swept up by powerful right-wing currents in the contemporary politics, unmoored by a vast social crisis all around them, which they do not understand and for which they are politically unprepared. Now, these same powerful right-wing currents have swept Stewart into the same stage as Ukrainian neo-Nazi. Is there a picture of it anywhere? Because this is just going off. There can be no doubt regarding the fascist character of the Azov battalion. It stands in the tradition of the Nazi collaborationists, an organization of Ukraine nationalists. Wow, that's a lot of words. Its founder, previously leader of the fascist parliamentary Patriot of Ukraine organization, is an outright white supremacist who in 2010 stated that the mission of Ukraine is to lead the white race of the world in a final crusade against Semite-led Untermenschen subhumans. Ew. That's gross. Les Bones, you made it. Thank goodness you made it now, because they already tried to shut my stream down this morning because of Jon Stewart. which is wild to me. They've been messing with me all morning. So luckily you got me now. And in YouTube as well, so that works. With the US-backed proxy war in Ukraine now in its 6th month and amidst rapid inflation, there are clearly concerns within the ruling class about growing opposition in the working class to the war. Militarist PR efforts like the Warrior Games and the use of a well-paid right-wing celebrities like Jon Stewart to promote a Ukrainian neo-Nazi are intended to both conceal the true nature of the disastrous imperialist war in Ukraine and legitimize the fascist allies of imperialism in Eastern Europe. Yeah, sorry, Les Bones. We were watching the Jon Stewart video of him interviewing the lady from, I believe it's Arkansas, and talking about the trans issues. And Holly and a couple other people decided to let me know that Jon Stewart gave an award to some Azov Battalion Nazi dude at a Disneyland event, which I'm reading now and is absolutely disgusting. It's gross. I don't like it whatsoever. Yeah, the stream cut. You're not allowed to watch this. Exactly. But I can read. They'll let me read. I can't do anything anymore. Man, now I know what Hardlands media feels like when they're like talking about censorship and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I used to be like, yeah, I get it. And now I'm like, fuck, I get it. I wonder if they're going to allow me to watch anything else. Well, they're going to allow me to watch Yona. They'll probably let me watch the SCP and then maybe the liminal spaces because they do have a lot of views on those, and those are checkmark people, so I might not be able to watch them. We might get in a lot of trouble today some more. I'm like seriously contemplating on just sticking to Twitch maybe, because trying to please YouTube is becoming a stress-filled time. So yeah, that's what happened with Jon Stewart. Did the interview with Leslie Rutledge, then the the parents giving their own opinion, and then finding out that Jon Stewart honors Azov Battalion's people at the Pentagon, which is gross. And I've lost some respect for him. I still respect him, but definitely I don't like that at all. Kitty, what you doing? What are you doing? What you doing, little floofballs? Or Rumble, right? Yeah, or Rumble. I signed us up for Rumble. We're signed up. We just got to get approved into there. We just got to bug Warren because I put Warren as my reference. So you just got to keep bugging Warren. I'm just kidding. I'm just waiting for the approval. I'll probably go in again. I just did it last week. I know it takes some approval. If there's channels on there that's got only a couple hundred viewers or subscribers, they're getting on there. We just got to give it a little time. Keep bugging them. I'm not really good at continually bugging people, so I will try my best to keep trying. But we are definitely trying to get on Rumble for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. It wasn't MSNBC, it was Jon Stewart. And it was like the YouTube one. So it was like the clip of it. It wasn't even the full episode. It was like the 6-minute clip of it from the full episode on there. So I don't know. Yeah, Tail. Did you just see him jump? That was great. That was a good jump, sir. That was a good jump, sir. He is wilding out. I have a Rumble, like I made one for KRTD, but we can't like put content on there yet. So that's what I'm waiting. Yeah, we have an account. We just don't have the content creator account. Maybe I'll do some more Googling today and figure out like some research today and figure out what the heck's going on. Cause yeah, I'm not understanding it either. Man. All right, hold on. I'm going to open up my window so you guys can hear. Because this thunder is amazing. There we go. The kitties will be happy about it too. The window's open. The window's open if you want to go and check it out. Dang. Roxy, you got some thunder over there too, because you're like not far away from us, and you're up in a higher elevation, so you should be getting stronger storms than us. We don't even have anything. It's just thunder. So I don't know who's getting the lightning strikes. Maybe you. Okay. Let's get on to the next one before we start trying to have some fun and get kicked off of this stream again. If this stream does not work and they, try to get us again, I'll just stick over to the Twitch and maybe hopefully, because Twitch doesn't do this kind of stuff. Only YouTube does this stuff to me. Twitch doesn't. So if this happens again, I'll just stay on Twitch. And we'll go hang out over there. Yeah, you're getting thunder. Papa's getting hail and rain at work. Nice. Heck yeah. That's cool. So they're getting the rain and the hail over there. I wonder who's getting the lightning strikes around here, because that thunder is really, really loud. So, yeah, I love the thunder. Okay. Let's read this. Should we do it like this? Like this? I guess that works because I'm not watching a video. Sounds like what's heading your way tomorrow evening. Yeah, I'm in the Southern California area, like the San Bernardino Mountains, east of Los Angeles mountains. So I don't know which way this storm is heading, but it's getting here. I read in the news that we're supposed to be getting like these thunder lightning storms between now and like the next 2 hours, and then it's just supposed to go away. So it's only supposed to last a couple of hours and then pass right through. So if you're in the Southern California area, keep your eye out. It's coming. So here in the Los Angeles County District, we have a lady named Nori Martinez. She is one of the LA City Council members. And now this morning, or yesterday or today, she stepped down, not fully. She still has a role in the city council. She's just not the head of it anymore, I guess, due to racist recordings of what she said about another city council member's son. So a quiet outrage simmered in her city council district on Monday after a leaked audio recording in which she is heard making racist statements as she, 2 other Los Angeles city council members, and a powerful labor leader disparage other politicians. So though, sorry, Les Bones. Sorry. I know. Though many residents in Van Nuys, Panorama City, and North Hills were unaware of the scandal surrounding Martinez, who has represented their district since 2013, those who know of Martinez's racist comments were not coy with their feelings. Joe Salas, who's a plumber and has lived in Van Nuys for 17 years, says she's a racist, plain and simple. He also says that she shouldn't be in office. That's someone who does not speak for everyone. He says it makes me want to vote in the next election so I can vote her out of office. That's Joe Salas right there. Yeah, it is. It's annoying. I know. I'm sorry. It sucks. It sucks to see like racism even in people of color as well. Like, do better. Like like let us white people get all the disparagedness of, and all the stuff from, the shit talking and the backlash from years and years and years of oppression to Black people and slavery and even oppression and austerity to people of color in general. Like, don't make yourself a part of those if you're not. That's wrong. It's horrible. It's wrong. Let the white people get their ass kicked, please, because we deserve it. The morning after the leak. Here we go. Choking. All right, so what? Still not a breakfast. The morning after the leaked conversation involving council members Martinez, Kevin De Leon, and Gill was reported by the Times, Martinez announced she would be stepping down as a council president, but not from her council seat. She apologized for the comments and said that she was truly ashamed for her actions, only because she got caught. That's it. As someone who believes deeply in the empowerment of communities of color, I recognize my comments undercut that goal. She should have thought about that before she said it. Going forward, reconciliation will be my priority. I have already reached out to many of my Black colleagues and other Black leaders to express my regret in order for us to heal. Us to heal? How about full reparations and not just reconciliation? Like, you're not doing anything to reconcile what you've done, and you're saying in order for us to heal. Like, you need to heal in your own way. You need to get that racism out. They need to heal from what you've said. That's a complete different thing. Like, for us to heal, come, give me a fucking break. Stop being racist. You're not white. Don't do it. We're trying to stop it in our own colors. Why are you going to add on top of it? Like, white people are already bad off enough. You know, we already have to deal with hearing other racists saying things and telling them, hey, you're fucking racist. And they'll be like, you're white. You don't understand. You should be telling. Yeah, we should. We shouldn't have to deal with you being racist towards people of color because it's unnecessary. And it's wrong and it's vile and it's disgusting. And we have years and years of making up for it because of what our history and what our ancestors and our past have done. Why join that? You know, why be a part of that? I get it. It's the conservative culture. It's what they think. It's how they think. I totally, like, whatever. It's, you know, their culture. And even Hispanics need to feel like they're a part of that. So I get it. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yes, we need to do better. We definitely need to do better. Really? Chanting cancel all debts, reparations. See? There's a white lady that's doing some good stuff. Like, why do we got this Nuri girl out here in the city council when there's, you know, a good white lady out there doing some stuff? We're going to have to watch that. Let me finish reading this article and then we definitely will go and check that out. Go start, because I got time. Might as well. Hopefully I won't get turned off of you on YouTube again. Let's see. So this was recorded in a mid-October conversation about city redistricting, in which Martinez called the young Black son of a councilman, Mike Bonin, the N-word in Spanish. So using a Spanish diminutive term for a Black person that can be considered demeaning. Yeah, it's literally the N-word in Spanish. I mean, that's the color without the IT in there. That's the color Black in Spanish. So yeah, she's saying some dirty words. And this councilman that she's talking about, Mike Bonin, he adopted a Black son. And that's who she's talking about, is this guy's adopted Black son. So they're raising him like a little white kid, she said. I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back. Like, as if she's going to beat some streets into him. I don't know. Makes no sense. Like, lady, if you're going to be beating some streets into a child of one of your fellow colleagues, then you don't deserve to be in office at all. You're supposed to be serving the community as a council member. You know, the small community that you have as a council member. You have too much power for you to be thinking that of a white man who's adopted a Black kid. Like, you have no right to tell that man how he should raise his kid and what he should do with his own kid at all. At fucking all. It's none of your damn business. And that's another thing that bothers me about conservatives too. It's like, our business is their business. Like, whenever our kids or we do something, like, they feel like they need to tell us what we need to do with our lives. Like, yo, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm still learning as I go. I don't need your direction. I will figure out my own direction. I'm sorry, but the direction that I had for the first 18 years of my life was not good for me. I didn't like it, and I don't want that for mine. So why would I sit there and listen to you who's giving me the same direction as a grown-up as I got when I was a kid that didn't work in the first fucking place? Sorry. Just shut your mouth. That's all she needs to do. Just shut her mouth. She also says that that Bonin handled his son as though he were like an accessory, and she also said he's like a little monkey in Spanish, which is super racist. Like, come on. Come on. How are you even going to say that? The conversation took place as several council members were frustrated by a plan from a redistricting commission. So this was during like the caucus times. Redistricting commission that would have removed economic assets from a heavily Latino district. Martinez worried that her district would lose Van Nuys Airport and the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Money-making. Totally money-making stuff. If you're going to talk about Latino districts, what kind of districts are you trying to create? She asked, because you're taking away our assets. You're just going to create poor Latino districts with nothing. At another point, Martinez mocked Oaxacans as little, short, dark people and said, F that guy, he's with the blacks, while speaking about about Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon. She's just outright racist. She's just straight up. Like, it's just in her blood, and she just can't even realize what she's saying now. Like, she's just so enveloped in her racism that it's become a part of her personality now, and she doesn't even realize that she's saying this. Or she knows she's saying it, she's just not realizing that it's racist because it's probably so naturally talked about around her and her friends that she doesn't realize that she's being a fucking racist. Oh my God. Let's see. What? U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican. Is that Republican Alabama or Alaska? Lady! Says Dems support reparations because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. They're ridiculous. That is so ass backwards. What? Right, exactly. She thinks she's white. That's exactly what it is. And it's so crazy to me how, like, you do realize that you're still Hispanic, like you're still Latina. Like, as much as you want to be white, those racist white people aren't going to let you into their crew and, let you be a part of them because you're thinking that. Like, they're not. They're just going to use you as a pawn. You're going to be like the token Latina person, It's like a group of racist dudes, like white skinheads, running around with that one black person. And that one black person in their group goes around and says all like, the racist stuff. He does the arm thing and then or he does the HH thing. Like, he does all the racist stuff. That's your token black person. That's the person that's literally, what he's doing is he's setting in stone your actions. He's making it okay and showing the white people that their actions are okay because this one black person said so. It's kind of like what the conservatives do with Candace Owens is the same as well. They're just using her as a token, or that's what they're going to do, is use her as a token white person. And she's just, these people just love it. They fucking soak it up. They're like, I feel like I'm a part of something. And it's like, no, you're really not. They're actually making fun of you behind your back for being a colored person and falling for their shit and doing what they told you to do. Because if you would say, no, that's fucking racist when they tell you to do something like that, they wouldn't be your friend anymore. They would be like, well, then fuck you. Like, we're done. We're not going to, you're not our friend anymore. And that's what they're doing. They're not, she's just stupid. She's trying to get attention from people. And she's in a Latino majority district. Like, how are you going to act like that in a Latino majority district? It's crazy. So somebody, Francois, this guy, he's 68 years old, sipped a cup of coffee over his copy of Los Angeles Times. He says, of course she should resign, pointing to the newspaper. Francois lived in the SFV more than a decade ago and now visits Van Nuys for his doctor's appointments. I go to Van Nuys every once in a while. Well, not Van Nuys itself, but like out in that area. Because that's where Daniel lives, is out by there. So that's crazy. Racist comments about African Americans is not surprising when you get down to it. Politicians speak that way about people, Francois said. It's the comments they made about districting. What's that called in the past? It's like redlining. That's pretty much what the redistricting and the caucus thing is about. It's they try to figure out who lives where, how many people are living in that house, and who would they vote for, like their party preference. So that way that when it's time to redraw the lines, they draw the lines. Whoever's in charge of that county redraws the line so that they either win more or make more profit or bring more tourism. It's just so that they can continually win. That's it. There's no like even lines of redistricting, or else the lines wouldn't look crazy. Like, have you seen some of the lines in some countries? I think it's even Arkansas, I believe, has like this one weird one where it's shaped like, it's so weirdly shaped like an animal or something that the people there actually like show this animal and they're like, here's this, what this line is district as. I mean, I've seen Tennessee before. Tennessee has like this one small spot in the bottom left that's an entire district, and like everything else is like big spots, but this one little area, you know, it's wild to me. It's Spanish colonist mentality, right? That's still very prevalent in Latin America. It makes sense. You know, the white people came and took over, or, you know, Mexico was all the way up to like the Canadian border. So when we took it over, we whitewashed everybody. You know, it's like what we did to the indigenous people as well, you know, especially like in Canada and here in America, where we completely whitewashed an entire race and just to be like us, and it ruins that. So yeah, no, I totally understand Latinas, especially in California too, because I notice like in the racist areas, there's like still like Latina, Hispanic people in those racist circles, because I mean, some of them, like some girls will be able to get away with being considered sort of white and be able to date like these, you know, skinhead racist guys will date these girls. Like, there's a one girl I knew that was all into like dating skinheads and stuff, and she got away with it. Like, she was able to date these racist guys because she was so whitewashed. But she was Hispanic. She was tan. She was a tan girl. But since she was so whitewashed and like, you know, very like trailer park, I guess you would call it, like the trailer park whitewashed kind of girl, they liked her and they dated her. And it always made me think like, okay, then if you guys are skinheads and you guys are racist and you're allowing this one girl in there to be, you know, when you guys are doing her, then you guys aren't really racist, or they are really racist skinheads. But it's like they're hypocrites too. Like, these skinheads are also hypocrites as well, because if you're going to sit there and claim that, you know, like you're against like all these other colors, but you're allowing this Hispanic girl in there, like, what are you? Okay, so either you're a hypocrite or you're using her. Either both of them are, you know, like, you can go ahead and be a hypocrite. I don't care. Be a hypocrite all you want to, because it's fucking funny and you guys don't deserve to have any kind of approval or acceptance of what you're doing anyway. But using her, that's wrong. That's where I would see it as a wrong thing. Absolutely wrong. So yeah, exactly. Indigenous Mexicans have no legal standing or right. They don't. They absolutely don't, especially out here on the West Coast. Like, there's just, yeah. The city or the country, the government always tries to take more and more and more and more land. Always. I knew families that had a bunch of land out in the Mojave Desert, and now they don't have any of it. The government took it. And all they have left are like frames of arrowheads that they would go in the desert and they would just find arrowheads in the ground and stuff. And since I personally, in my own opinion, think that they stole the land back, was because of what they were finding in the ground, like all the arrowheads and stuff like that. They were like, oh, this is some good land. But they end up putting, I think, like a satellite tower right on the top of the mountain of like this land that this family had out in the Mojave Desert. So yeah, they do. They have no rights. They don't care about indigenous Mexicans whatsoever, at all whatsoever. So let's continue reading. Martinez, the daughter of Mexican immigrants, graduated from San Fernando High School and Cal State Northridge. She served on the Los Angeles School Board before taking office in 2013, and she lives in Sun Valley with her husband and daughter. Few shoppers at Plaza del Valle in Panorama City on Monday knew her name. Many customers pursuing vaquero boots or waiting for a haircut had not heard of the brewing scandal. This is who is this? I think this is like her assistant or something. Lucia Perez, 32, an optometrist assistant, didn't know about the racist comments as she sat down for lunch on the outdoor patio, but she recoiled. Oh, it's just an optometrist assistant. She recoiled when she was told what the lady said. She said she shouldn't be a representative for the city of Los Angeles. Though Martinez had apologized for her comments, Perez shook her head. This girl right here shook her head and said, there are other ways to apologize. She should resign. Absolutely. Even if it's too past, it's too late for this lady, this Nunez or whatever, Nuri Martinez. It's too late for her. Like, the racism is embedded in her culture and her blood. Like, she should not be representing, especially a Latino majority city. She shouldn't be doing this, especially as racist as she is. So yeah, I completely. So though Martinez had apologized for her comments, okay, so a small group of TV cameras was pointed at the front door of Martinez's home on Monday. A group of protesters marched through her neighborhood the night before, but by Monday afternoon, the quiet cul-de-sac saw little activity. None of her neighbors in the single-story homes were comfortable speaking about Martinez or the racist comments. So this is some of the stuff that her neighbors were saying, like, I don't want to talk bad about that woman. She's a good woman. She's a hard worker, blah, blah, blah. But they did agree that her comments were racist. So it's people that like are her neighbors. They probably like her. They're probably just as racist. Yeah. What was it that I was going to look up? Oh, yeah, Code Pink. That's right. I'm going to look up Code Pink. Hold on. Let's get over here first. Let's see. Code Pink. IMF. All right. No, I meant IMF. World Bank meeting. So, oh, there we go. 8 minutes ago, today, Code Pink was just ejected from the IMF. No, I don't want to install this. Go away. How do I get this on here without that popping up? Yo, make it go away. Dude, I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, we'll just go on Twitter then. Meep, meep. All right, so Code Pink was just ejected from the World Bank meeting in D.C., chanting cancel student debt and reparations now. Here's some pictures, or here's a picture. This was just put up a little over an hour ago. Here's their press release. All right. So activists demand cancel all debt in a disruption of the IMF World Bank meeting. Did not know that. Gross. Yeah, exactly. Sports ball. It's what it is. Sports ball. Oh, because you were talking about this. The NAACP has denounced Republican Tommy Tuberville's recent comments at a Trump rally as flat out racist, ignorant, and utterly sickening. Woo. All right, let's read this Code Pink one first. Okay. Code Pink organizers disrupted the debt restructuring meeting. The two were ejected from the meeting after they unfurled a banner that read, "Cancel all debts." They continued to shout, "Cancel all debts, reparations now," as they were escorted out of the meeting and buildings. The disruption and demand comes at a time when financial and climate crises are devastating and destroying vulnerable countries in the global south. Let's read some more. The IMF and World Bank are loan sharks trapping countries into debt. We need localization and ecological sustainability for the people, planet, and peace, states Nancy Mencius, Code Pink campaign organizer. We are calling on the IMF and World Bank to end its debt trap. Shush, lady. To end its debt trap monetary practices, which are causing countries to sink further down into economic crises. We are calling on them to cancel all debts. The solution to stabilizing the global economy is not going to be found in debt restructuring, but rather from debt cancellation. The path to economic sovereignty for the global south is not through the predatory loans offered by the IMF World Bank, but instead through reparations of all wealth and resources that have been stolen from the countries through colonization, illegal invasions, occupations, and extraction of oil, gas, and coal. Code Pink joins an international coalition of organizations who commit to disrupting business as usual at this year's annual IMF World Bank meetings. For the coalition also included all of that. Among calls for climate change denier and World Bank President David Malpass to step down, the coalition also demands that these institutions and their investment in fossil fuels cancel the debt they claim global South countries owe and pay climate reparations. So it looks like these were some of the pictures that they took. That's the lady that is like really well known for the Code Pinks. There she is right there. Looks like she did a book about war in Ukraine. Secret French military operations in Egypt violate human rights. Solidarity with the Egyptian people. She's just everywhere, isn't she? She got like super, super famous. Not even famous. Like she just went super viral because of one thing that happened to her at the convention center a few years back in 2016. The DC Convention Center for the Democratic Convention. She just got like super, super viral from that. And then like ever since then, she's just been off the hook, just running. Every time, like I don't hear much about her, but when I do, it's always her doing stuff like this, like activism stuff. So good for her. I mean, I'm pretty sure them kicking her out is not going to do much. She's probably not going to, or they're probably not going to even listen to what she says, obviously. But I mean, at least they're out there doing some activism, getting people to at least hear the stuff that they would never hear. You know, without her, a lot of those meetings would just be status quo. You know, everything would just go as it always does. At least she sat there and made at least a little bit of a stink about it. You know, that's all that really matters. So, yeah. Yes, Medea Benjamin. That's her name. Yes. IMF. Privatization, ex-Ukrainian. Meanwhile, up next, Taiwan is becoming a U.S. weapons dump. Yeah, I know. That whole thing over there is wild, too, because, you know, they're supposed to be like this peace thing. We're not supposed to touch them. China's not supposed to touch them. And then all of a sudden, like, we're pushing buttons again. It's always us first. So it never fails. It's always us first doing that kind of stuff. So with the LA City Council racist statements, hopefully they'll let us watch this video. It is KTLA 5. So they shouldn't kick us out for this. So we'll see.
Garcetti is the latest political power player to say 3 city council members should resign after their racially charged comments were recorded and leaked to the media.
Other council members, as well as both mayoral candidates, Karen Bass and Rick Caruso, are also calling for the 3 to step aside. KTLA's Jennifer McGraw live at City Hall with new details. Jen.
Micah and Cher, this audio recording has no doubt It's shock and it's outrage and anger all across California. Even the governor really.
I think we're going to be listening to her saying it here in just a second. So I just try to pause it so that way YouTube doesn't fucking get me in trouble again. Yeah.
Releasing a statement, the sheriff and many city leaders calling on 3 council members to step down. Outrage and political blowback for some LA city leaders after racist and derogatory slurs were leaked in an audio recording from a meeting last October.
So you'll start seeing them line up.
Council President Nuri Martinez using expletives, referring to District Attorney George Gascon in a conversation about redistricting. Martinez, along with 2 other Latino members of the Los Angeles City Council and top county labor officials, were heard in that meeting speaking nonchalantly of ways to afford their own political gain.
It just proved, I think, a lot of things that people already suspected about LA City Council.
John Peltz is a reporter with Knock LA, the first to publish the leak audio recording.
Yep.
So this is the company that released or that leaked the audio recording of the woman's racist statements. So we're going to listen to what he says. It's just wild to me.
Ron Herrera in the room, who's this labor leader, just openly talking about candidates he supports, wanting to make sure certain people are reelected. You know, it really comes off like this is the way it is, and this is the way it's always been. And I think that's probably the most.
Can you believe that? That's so gross. That's why he felt like he had to record, is because he said that this is just the way they talk. They feel like this is just the way that it always is. And he needed to make, he needed to do something about it because it was wrong. We would have never known that they were like this, that these 3 council members were like this, that this Nori lady was like this at all. I mean, the people in the towns obviously would know what she's like, but but this is just how they act. Apparently, this is the status quo, just being racist in LA. More proof that Los Angeles County is just one of the most racist places in California. It's fucking disgusting how racist LA County is. It's seriously disgusting. Yeah, it kind of sounds like Pelosi, huh? Exactly.
A powerful part of the audio is just how unseriously these people are taking these issues. They're couched with these horrible racist jokes.
And that's this part, as Martinez is speaking of Councilman Mike Bonin's Black adopted son at an MLK march.
It's like the oddest thing, it's like black and brown on this float. The kid bouncing off the effing walls on the float, practically tipping.
So she's complaining and being racist about kids on a float. I'm pretty sure for a parade? Who cares? Kids are supposed to have fun on floats. That's the whole point of being on a float, is being the person on the float during the parade, being able to go, hey, everybody in the audience, hi. That's what you're supposed to do. Kids are supposed to have fun on these floats. And this lady went straight to racism with it.
Over. There's nothing you can do to control him.
That means, quote, he looks like a little monkey.
Resign now! Can you fucking believe her? Can you believe what she said? I can't believe, over a float, over a kid playing around on a float. Exactly. The LAPD gangs. Exactly. Yeah, the ones that have like those tattoos on their arms. It's like a special tattoo that they all get to show that they're all in like this secret group out here. Yeah, they're all fucking racists out here, man. It's so disgusting. It's even more wild to me to note because I see this shit. I've seen it. These cops are even friends with these racist skinheads out here in California. They're cool with them out here. It's disgusting to me, the things that I have seen in my life.
Protesters rallying, demanding Martinez leave office. And the fallout continued even after Martinez agreed to step down from president but remain on council.
Resign from the council. All of it. We should not have anyone serving that is not about the whole.
Inglewood! Get it, Inglewood! Inglewood. You tell them.
Whole community.
Leaders at unrelated press conferences across Los Angeles speaking out with a similar sentiment.
It is unconscionable. It is not something that I think we can get through unless the individuals involved.
Oh my God, Warren. I don't think anyone has ever said the biggest truth ever. For real. Especially out here like LA County. Every single one of these little punk ass skinheads that think that they're just so cool and so neat and so badass. Like, they're police informants. There were some, like, because I had friends that, you know, are dancers and stuff. So the boyfriends that they choose are not the best of the best. But one of them had a boyfriend who was like just this jailbird dude. You know, just totally tatted down everywhere. Totally can tell that he was a racist skinhead. And he was a police informant. He got his own friends arrested and put in jail. Like, he was probably not like one of the most like coolest, like, you know, like respected skinheads in the gang out there or anything, but he was like up there with all of that. And he was a police informant. He admitted it to us, like to the girls at the bar, like expecting us to never say anything. I don't know. Like, sorry, but what happens in a strip club doesn't stay in a strip club. It ain't Vegas. Like, this ain't the 1900s anymore. You just can't get away with this shit. So sorry, buddy. Yeah. You're absolutely fucking right, Warren. He was, yeah, so many of them are. It would shock you.
Involved resign from office.
Nuri Martinez issued a statement apologizing, saying that she's ashamed and asking for forgiveness from her colleagues in the community. It's unclear if she will get that, still holding that power. Tomorrow, as city council will meet.
She shouldn't get it at all. She shouldn't ask for apology and then keep her spot. Like, sorry, racism is in your blood. You need to get the fuck out. Get out. There are so many fish in the sea that could probably fit that spot that you're doing that will, you know, continually do what you're doing without the racism. You want the status quo to stay, you know, whatever. You do what you want to do because you're always going to do what you're wanting to do anyway because you all are in power. Put someone in there that's not racist. That's all you got to do. You don't need to apologize because nobody should be forgiving you anyway because you need to forgive yourself and then you need to fix yourself. That's all. You don't need to sit there and ask people for forgiveness when you need to sit there and work on yourself some more. You can't just say all those things like it's in your natural culture and it's in your natural state to do something like that and then apologize and expect people to think that you have changed your ways in a matter of less than a week while still being in office, like a spot in office. It don't work like that. I'm sorry, it don't work like that. Racism takes years and years and years and years and years of fixing to help get over it. Because there's things that people say that they don't even realize still to this day are racist. So, no forgiveness, no none of that. She don't deserve it. That's that on her. She's disgusting. West Side, that's right. Inglewood. Got to leave it up to Inglewood. They're always there to beat some ass. I love Inglewood. Like my dad said when I brought home a female dog, that bitch needs to go. That's so nice. Your daddy wouldn't let you have a dog? That's sad. That bitch needs to go. Oh, what else do we got on this racist stuff? Okay. Yay! We're done with the racist lady. It is officially 1:08, so now we get to have some fun. Okay, so first what we're doing is we're going to play Yona's song because I didn't play it yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he's not here anymore, so it'll be a cool little surprise when I upload it later and we talk about his song. So, if he's not here anymore. I'm just guessing. But I heard this video, or I saw the video yesterday. I didn't see it. I listened because I was trying to like research and look for all the stuff for today. So I just listened to it. But it sounded really nice. And Yona was right. I do like this song a lot. So we're going to watch it. So it's called Sevastopol Sea Black Remix by Yona. Let's watch it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Don't strike me and turn my video off, please.
Tartars of the mountains, feel the chill in the wind. Navies in the Portland, flag flaps in the wind. Air is cold, seas black, Sevastopol. Trains on fire, bridges falling down. Listen to the warfare. Now missiles flying around. Air is cold, seas black, Sevastopol. Sweat on the brow, blood on the plow. Air is cold, seas black, Sevastopol. Trains on fire, bridges falling down. Tartar elders on the mountain, organized crime for referendum. Annexation will protect them. Race to war, profits project them. Old school fed to the reset. Game plan. There's cold, seas black, Sevastopol. Future is bleak, fires and bombs. Praise to the people.
That's so pretty. You cannot tell me that was not a pretty, pretty, pretty song. Like, so pretty. And then he did another one yesterday as well. I think it's this one. Look at that. Papa's Stone Tempted Nations remix. I want to watch this one now.
Maybe we killed someone innocent, Oscar.
Bah! If some innocents get killed, they are the victims necessary to establish the terror. Let's go!
This is one case out of many that are repeated daily in some of the countries of Latin.
I hope this isn't a YouTube video or something. I'm really terrified of getting like shut down again.
America. And those directly responsible are the youngsters trained in the School for Assassins.
All right, let's do it in Spanish. Escuela de Asesinos. How do you say assassins in Spanish? I know how to say escuela because that's school. Day of asesinos. Escuela de Asesinos. That's so cool. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. Am I going to get in trouble? I'm so scared I'm going to get in trouble for this.
How can it be that my brother has come to Cuba? Papa, he will see all his efforts to make him a man wasted. Mama, she will suffer when she finds out.
Deep in the mountains of Cuba, hundreds of youngsters like Carlos and Oscar are being thoroughly trained to carry out the campaign of terror in their own countries. At the same time, they are being brainwashed by intensive indoctrination. Despite everything they've said, Oscar, I've noticed that people here don't seem
Oh, that's like an 8.5 minute an 8.5 minute video. I can't hear them what they're saying though over the music. So I'm hoping this is like Yona's music over it and then we won't get in trouble. Ooh, that sounds good. Like the Arby's sauce that you put on the burgers with shrimp. That actually sounds really good, and I've never, ever, ever thought of putting those together. I won't touch ketchup. You won't see me touching ketchup, but some of that Arby's sauce that you put on the hamburgers or you dip your fries in with some shrimp. That sounds bomb. Now you're making me want to order some shrimp off of my Instacart. Like, bro, send some shrimp, please. I'm a sucker for seafood.
Seems there's always a counter-revolutionary around. Well, come on. We'll finish our training tomorrow.
Yes. We'll be going back to our own countries in a few days. You are all prepared to return to your own countries and begin a wave of terror and communist agitation in accord with the decisions of the Tri-Continental Conference.
It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember.
Is that a real song? Am I going to get in trouble for this one too? I am so about to be in trouble. YOLO, right? We're going to find out.
Remember, yes I will. Cause it was the day that my daddy died. I never got a chance to see him. Never heard nothing but bad things about him. Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. Mama just hung her head and said, son, Papa was a rolling stone.
That is a song. Yup, we gonna get in trouble for that one. We'll just watch it with no volume. How about that? Always remember the 5th of November. Yeah, I thought it was. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I knew that part sounded familiar. The beat sounded familiar. That's what got me. That that part. Yeah, I knew it was a song. Okay. Are we still playing? Yep. They're still playing it. What if I turn it down really, really, really low and talk over it? Because I'm missing all the words. Well, this sounds like a remix. No, it's still the song.
And mama, some bad talk going around town saying that Papa had 3 outside children and
All right.
another wife. And that
I can't do any more of it. I'm afraid. All right. Well, we've also got Mr. Warren, who went to Comic-Con. We saw day 1. So here we go for day 2.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
That's day 2 of New York's Comic-Con 2022. And a lot of cosplay today. We just got out of Neil Gaiman's
Oh, that's a lot of red. That's a lot of red. A lot of red. Red walls, red shirt, red face. You're red. You're just lots and lots of red.
Good Omens 2 panel. And so today, we're showing you a lot of cosplayers. Check it out. Oh.
That's so cool. Look at it. He's even sitting on nothing. I love those tricks when people do that. I think it's so neat. I absolutely love it. Comic-Con. You are angry. Oh, that is so neat. Oh my God. I'm so still not used to the fucking mute thing. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. So this girl right here that's wearing the TARDIS dress. Muted again. Okay, so right there. There it is. I have that exact same dress. That is so cool. I have that dress. So is this line dancing or is this like a type of ballroom dance? What is this? Because this is cool. I see like a little Obi-Wan Kenobi over here. I'm totally digging the TARDIS dress on her. She did it really cute with the spandex and the little shirt over it. I might steal that idea because I haven't even worn the dress yet because I don't know what to wear it with. But that's cute. That's the way to wear it. Oh, medieval dancing? Okay. I swear that's like one of my favorite things about like these conventions and like cosplayers and stuff is they'll allow you to like take video of them and they'll just act in character, and it's so neat. Like it's just so cool to see people, the LARPers and the cosplayers. Look at him. He's like a hairy baby man. I mean, I know who it is, but still, like, look at the little furry diaper on him. Oh, it's so cute. He's got like a fur diaper thong. That's adorable. So does he. Oh. Okay, I'm totally digging the fur diaper. Totally digging the fur diaper. What? Cool Wolverine, and then the new Wolverine girl, I think she's like X023, I believe her name is. That's cool. You got Joker, Robin, Batman. Very nice. the H stands for hairy man. Oh, that's cool. I love those hats. Those are like my favorite kind. It reminds me of SpongeBob. Look at him. He looks like a sad SpongeBob, a sad half deflated SpongeBob. You tried though. Look at the guy. Looks like he's got a woodgie. Whoa, that's nuts. That is all chain. What is it? They call it like chain mail or something like that. That is insane. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. E. Heller, what's up? Happy National Sausage Pizza Day. Isn't it like pizza day for you every day, Mr. H? Oh, I love you guys. You pizza people. Bringing me into the fold. Is that the Blues Brothers? That's so cute. And then you got that mask back there in the background. But the Green Goblin? Dragon Ball? Look at it! That is so big! Oh my god. Yeah, Dragon Ball is like all over the place right now because they're getting ready to come out with like another movie or show or something, like a TV show or something. Ooh, nice, sexy Boba Fett. Is that a Batman with a ghost buster? That's awesome. It's a little low so the echo doesn't come in, but look at those costs. Oh, that is sick. I don't even know what that was, but I like it. They're making swords? Oh, neat. That's a cool costume. Oh, the nerds. I love it. Boba Fett. Nice. I love the girl stormtrooper outfit. That's good. Now that looks like a makeup booth. Yep, that's what the convention looks like right there. That's what they all look like. It's so crazy. What is that? What was that? Is that like the Fallout dude? You are in a mood, Mr. Burton. You need to chill. I just heard you like breathing heavily. So yeah, is that the Fallout guy? Because that's cool. The Lex Luthor cosplay looked like Iron Chef. Wait, what did that say? I was distracted by my kitty. Oh my god! Cat! Stop getting into stuff. Jeez. You're doing so good. Oh, and I skipped it again. Damn it. Okay, so not sure I have the right address, but is Freddie home? That's cute. Yeah, it looks like a garbage pail kid, right? That's what. Yeah, I thought it was the Fallout dude. Because isn't it like the Fallout guy supposed to be like a dude in a suit like this, and then like behind him is the atomic bomb because it's a Fallout, like the Fallout games. Yeah, the atom bomb. So the Fallout games is kind of like a post-apocalyptic, nuclear war world. That is so neat. Yeah, atom bomb. Freddie, that's so cute. I don't understand what all that hair was for. That's cool. He's trying to be Venom. A Viking of some kind? Is that the Toys R Us giraffe? I heard the Toys R Us is back, you guys. I heard it's back. My childhood is back. Come on, Kitty, stop. That's cool. Funko? I know what Funko is. Cool. Oh, that's neat. Oh my god, I love that. They're doing the pointing Spider-Man meme. Are you serious? You actually got a video of them doing the pointy Spider-Man meme. Like, it's your fault. No, it's you. No, it's you. No, it's you. And they're all the same. Oh my god, that is so good. Oh, you even put it right down there. They did the meme. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Warren, you win the internet today. That was good. That was good. That was so good.
Day 2
You got the Silent Night hat? Oh my god. I saw the preview, the trailer for that movie, and I want to see it so bad. It looked so good. I literally just saw the trailer for that movie yesterday. Literally just saw it yesterday. And you already have the Santa hat. And I am super, super jealous right now. Oh my god. I'm so jealous. I bet you got to see like the movie, didn't you? I bet you did. I bet you did. You got to see the whole movie. I'll be super jealous if you did.
New York Comic-Con 2022 in the books. We went to panels with Neil Gaiman. And
You got to see the whole thing. Please tell me it's good because it looks so good. It's kind of like that comedic horror, you know, where it's like lots of blood and gore and scariness, but then there's also like the hilarity of it. And the guy that's playing Santa Claus, it's the actor from Stranger Things, I believe. And he is just so funny. Even in real life, he is a fucking blast. Like, the guy is hilarious. So yeah, I want to see it so bad. I can't believe you got to see it. You got to tell me. You got to tell me the story, because I'll never go and see the movie. I'll just end up watching all the bits and pieces on YouTube until I can understand the whole thing. So you got to tell me what happened, because you got to see the movie, and now I'm super, super jealous because I just saw the trailer for it yesterday. Literally just yesterday, I just saw it. So I should tell everyone my name is Jimmy. What? No, wait. No, because there's that girl on TikTok, that period, 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 and if I do that, people are gonna start doing it, like Jimmy what, Jimmy who, Jimmy what, Jimmy who. I don't know. I might like it. It kind of sounds. It does sound catchy, but I don't know. Jimmy what? I should. Jimmy what? Or Jimmy what? Jimmy who? Period. 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 If you're not on TikTok, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm really sorry that you have to hear that. And don't go and look it up, because it's one of those cursed videos. Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's Jimmy what? I kind of like it. Yeah. It's Jimmy what? They showed, okay, yeah, so yeah, they showed it. It's violent, yeah. Okay.
And Jeffrey Wright, and we just got out of seeing a preview of the movie Violent Night with David Harbour and John Leguizamo. It's coming out December 2nd. It was amazing, super violent, super delicious, and I'm near one of the most popular places in the Javits Center, the Shitter. We will
You ain't lying. Yeah, I love that you notice that kind of stuff when you go to places, because I always think that all the time. Like, I swear this place could be totally, completely packed, but the most popular spot in the entire convention center is the Shitter. Like, there is no longer line than for the Shitter. That's how literally I was able to meet Seth Green at the Comic-Con that I went to, because I was in line for the Shitter. I was literally waiting in line to go pee. It's ridiculous. You're so right.
for day 3. Ho, ho.
All right, that's day 2. Now we're going to go on to day 3 and 4. I'm going to stop my cat really quick while we watch this.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
It's day 3 of New York Comic-Con. This is the big one. This is the one that drives people crazy. All kinds of good stuff. We just got out of a panel for the Peripheral sci-fi show coming up by the end of the month. And I'm going to be getting more cosplayers today. We'll be hitting up more panels. And yeah, we'll see you in a few. Ho.
I saw Chief in there. I saw Halo, Master Chief right there. Boom, boom. He's blue. Very nice. That is just so many fucking people. What are those dead game characters? I'm gonna turn the volume down. That guy's just repping ICP for Insane Clown Posse. Double Deadpool, yeah. That's a cool costume. Kitty, stop. You're on my last damn nerve, cat. Oh, cool. Does that thing work? I thought he was in the wheelchair the whole time. What the hell? Oh, it is copyright free? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. They're friggin', I swear YouTube is already monetizing it. Oh, that's Trick or Treat characters. So when I went to Comic-Con, that's the movie that they played for us, was Trick or Treat movie, and that's the little character from it. Right there. That's him. That's cool. Oh, the purple. Look at the babies. You Captain America. Look at the laziest Captain America ever. Oh. That's the Joker. That's the laughing Joker. He's the scary one. I like that Joker. Master Chief. You Halo baby. Yes. Oh, look at that Joker. That is such the best Joker. Cool. Yes, Arcane. Interview with the Vampire? Wait, they're coming out with a new one? Wait a minute. Anne Rice interview with an vampire, AMC Sundays. No freaking way. They're remaking an interview with the vampire? I want to see it. I don't have AMC though.
All right, day 3, New York Comic Con 2022.
You look so angry. Why do you look so angry, Warren? Okay, day 3.
In the books. And it was a good day. New show. We got to see a screening of a new show called The Peripheral. Starts October 21st.
You were drunk.
The people who made Westworld.
Really? You're so lucky.
Also,
you handle yourself pretty well even when you're drinking. I couldn't tell.
The Next Generation reunion for Star Trek Picard. Jamie Lee Curtis had a spotlight panel, and we topped things off with some food and some booze and karaoke, which I did not do, but I enjoyed nonetheless.
Why didn't you karaoke? Why don't you karaoke? You can sing. I've heard you sing. You got a voice. You could do it. You could totally do it. Do some like Frank Sinatra or Queen. Have some fun with it.
Sunday.
You're drunk. That's the whole point. Is sing when you're drunk.
Peace.
Peace. Peace out. Inglewood. Day 4. Let's go.
Well, here we are, the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of day 4, the last day of Comic-Con. Kind of bittersweet. My body.
Okay, so you did at least sign up to do it. That's the one thing that I don't like about like really busy karaoke places is you put your name in there to get to sing and you're there for like 3-4 hours and you're ready to go home. By then you're drunk, you're done for the night, and they call up your name and you're like, I don't want to do it no more. I'm good. I've been here for 3 hours, dude. I haven't been called up once. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm way good.
You will be thankful that this this convention's over with. A lot of walking, a lot of on your feet, and old man bones don't tend to like that too much. I'm about to go up the tunnel and start the day. Some panels, probably more cosplay, and then see if we can score some goodies by the end of the day, because usually when the vendors are leaving, a lot of times they don't want to take all their shit with them, so we'll take it off their hands.
That's right.
See you in a few.
Nice. An Elvenkin. Oh, that's me. That's my internet. Jeez. Nice. Do you have an exit only right next to not an exit? Deadpool. Nice hat. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Everybody gives up on the last day, so you just got the rest, the true
All right,
fans.
and that is a wrap for New York Comic-Con 2022. We got to see a couple of Cartoon Network panels. Hello, little girl. And we got to see Tom Kenny and Gendy Tartikoff, whatever his name is. Jack. He was there. Got to see a couple more cosplayers, and we ended the day with some Japanese television with some weird shit, but it was fun. So we had a great time, and you know, we'll do it again next year maybe. See you. Happy Comic-Con.
How fun. That's so cool. I'm so glad you got to take video and stuff and pictures and everything like that. That is so cool. I love seeing other Comic-Cons, you know, in like other states. That's so cool. I wore my nerd shirt today. See, it says "I love you" to the Death Star in back. My Star Wars shirt. Yeah. So I'm fellow nerding out today with you. That is so cool though. I'm so jealous. That is so neat. Yeah, of course you're gonna still be recovering. Of course. Because 4 days solid of like you said what? You walked like 6 miles during the whole time. So that's a lot. Especially when we get older, like we are just not as limber as we used to be. Or energetic. So yeah, recovering, definitely need to recover after that for sure. You stoop. All right. That was fun. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait. I want to go to one so bad again. Maybe one day I'll decide to go to another one. Just they're getting so packed now and they're so busy. So I was just always like, what's the point, you know? Yeah, see my feet and calves. Yeah, gave me a good talking to. I bet they did. Jesus. We've officially reached DEFCON 3. Yeah, always gotta wear my nerdy. I mean, yesterday I wore porn stuff. I think I wore like an Adam and Eve shirt. So I just mix it between cool stuff and nerdy stuff because that's me. I'm cool and I'm nerdy at the same time, I guess. All right. What else do we got in here? I mean, I want to show the 2 scary videos that I have for, for our month of October. So we've got a little bit of scary stuff to watch, but I'm seriously terrified that they're going to shut me down again. I'm absolutely scared, but we're going to try it. So this is SCP-049. It is known as the Plague Doctor. This is going to be fun. I'm going to have to pause it and talk a little bit throughout the whole thing. That way I don't get copyright striked, even if they try to. As long as I pause and keep talking, things will be fine. And I know in the comment section on some of my past videos, they're telling me to stop pausing it so much, but this is the kind of reason why I do it. So yeah. Yeah. Because I'm terrified. All right.
Entered the cell of the anomaly. He'd been warned and even chastised by his colleagues. But who in the Foundation could tell him what to do? He was the best at what he did. Maybe the greatest in the whole history of the Foundation. As he entered the room, SCP-049 bid him welcome, cordial as always. So polite, in fact, that you'd never guess you were talking to a killer. Dr. Morstead knew the truth of what he was dealing with, but he also believed he could get through to 049. Calm him, exorcise the devil from him. It was the meeting of 2 great minds, one of them human, one of them part human, part something that has never been clear. It was to be a battle of wits, and like so many great battles, this one would turn into a massacre. Before we get to that fateful meeting, there are some things you should know about the anomaly known as SCP-049.
He's friggin' scary looking. He looks like the Plague Doctor from back in the plague times.
If you saw him in the street, the first thing you'd think of was plague, because 049 always looked the same. A man dressed in black robes with a Plague Doctor's mask. But this wasn't a costume that could be taken off. In fact, it wasn't a costume at all. It was him. The robes had grown out of him like an exoskeleton. That horrible mask with the pointed nose wasn't covering his face. It was his face. A kind of shell that had seemingly sprouted from bone. The first reports came during World War II. In a picturesque town in the south of France called Montauban, people had begun going missing. Children disappeared from their beds in the middle of the night and weren't seen again. Adults went to the market and never returned. Local authorities searched high and low. They scoured nearby woods and dragged the rivers, but nothing was found. Because what was happening wasn't criminal, there was no clue they could stumble upon or eyewitness who would break the case. No, this was something else, something that the townsfolk could never understand. Word spread, and that's when a search and discovery team was sent from the Foundation. It was a cold...
Hey, gotta do a little pausey pause because I'm afraid that YouTube's gonna shut me down again. So I think what they're doing now is just telling the backstory of the Plague Doctor.
Dark night in January of 1941, when the team found what they were looking for. They walked through the open door of a small house located not too far from the Grand Chateau de Richelieu to find a masked man sitting next to an open fire. And he wasn't alone. The floor around him looked like it was moving. Upon closer inspection, the team saw that the floor was covered with writhing, grasping bodies. It's patients, as it called them. Bienvenue chez moi, said the thing. Welcome to my home. Those so-called patients crawled towards the team, intent it seemed to cause harm. The hostiles, now known as SCP-049-2s, were deemed dangerous and had to be eliminated. A sight, it seemed, that didn't bother 049 in the slightest. It just sat there, occasionally looking up from writing notes in a leather-bound book as his patients were gunned down. Once the carnage ended, it simply closed its book, stood up, and allowed itself to be escorted away.
And see, that's what's so scary about this one is like all this bad, people start dying around him and stuff, but he's just calm, collective, quiet, just like nothing's wrong with him. Like he's just calm and collective. Ugh.
That's the story of how 049 ended up at the facility, becoming a guest of sorts, staying in a standard secure humanoid containment cell, Research Sector 02, Site 19. The few that came into contact with 049 remarked that it was a pleasure for them, with its impeccable manners, vast knowledge of medicine and human anatomy, sharp tongue, and stinging wit. They almost became spellbound listening to it, caught in the throes of its charms until, with the simple touch of its hand, it would drain the life from them. That's why SCP-049 was classified as a Euclid. That's why armed guards were always stationed outside its.
So he's very, very persuasive. He's very charming. He's very intelligent. He's super smart. You know, he's very witty. But as soon as he touches you, it's like death, you know, like the Grim Reaper. As soon as he touches you, you're dead. Because he's the plague doctor.
So, it's why doctors took great precautions when in its presence, and it's why Dr. Morstead should have known better. Remember, when 049 was discovered in France, it willingly went with the team, like it was happy it had been found, as if it had planned its own capture. When it arrived at the facility, it didn't act like it was contained against its will. It was like it was returning home. Initial findings as to the biology of 049 were that it didn't require any sustenance at all, not even water. It seemed content to be left alone with its notebooks. It did not object when it was asked if it could share some of its notes and gladly handed over its journals. But upon examination, it was discovered that they were written in a language that no linguist or cryptologist has so far been able to translate. It's apparent that 049 derives much satisfaction from seeing so-called experts struggle over its text, unable to read those notes.
So I guess it created its own language, its own writing system. And he loves the fact that people can't figure out what he says. You know, he's created his own language. It's like that movie Nell. You know, I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie from back in the day. I think it's from the 90s. Where they find this woman in the forest and she has her own language and they have to like try to figure out what she's saying because she was raised out there pretty much by herself, you know, and she had to teach herself how to talk. And so those are the words that she came up with. So it's kind of like the same, like this guy has his own language and people can't tell what it is. It's so cool.
A long line of doctors visited 049 in its cell, each fascinated by what they beheld. It was learned that it has traveled the globe. It speaks many languages, but prefers to speak what it calls les langues de l'amour, French. It asks for only one thing, warm-blooded animals. The facility agreed to supply 049 with various kinds, including rabbits, cattle, and even an ape on one occasion. Just like with humans, it could kill the animals with a mere touch of its hand, sucking the life right out of them. But that wasn't even the most incredible part. Soon those animals would rise again, as if reanimated by 049. They would become, for all intents and purposes, the living dead. And they were hostile. After several unfortunate incidents, they were taken from the cell the moment they arose, disposed of in the incident.
Yeah, they're making zombies. He makes zombies, animal zombies. I want an animal zombie monkey pet. That'd be so cute.
This was not to the liking of 049, who would claim it had cured the animals. For it, the world was sick. It saw plague and pestilence everywhere, and the meaning of its existence was to rid the world of disease. Humans, it said, contained a virus and had to be cleansed. In the first days after arriving at the facility, 049 didn't seem to pose a threat to humans. He was quite friendly, in fact. It seemed aware of the fear it caused in staff, and would often go out of its way to make them feel comfortable and safe. This was a ruse, of course, or a canard, as 049 liked to say. It had no intention to help humans. No, it had come for humans. It wasn't trapped. It had set a trap. One of the first people to truly
Very, very manipulative and conniving guy, but yeah, interesting.
upset 049 was Dr. Raymond Ham, a well-respected physician that had twice been a contender for the Nobel Prize for his more mainstream work. What had confused Dr. Ham the most was not 049's clothes-like exoskeleton, or even his ability to reanimate the dead, but the bag that it used. 049 was somehow able to pull a seemingly endless supply of surgical tools from that bag. Sometimes it would even pull out objects that were somehow larger than the bag itself. It was as if the bag connected to somewhere else, and that's what Dr. Ham wanted to talk about on that fateful day.
He's like a deadly Mary Poppins. I've always wanted one of those purses. Yeah, he's like a deadly Mary Poppins. That's so cool.
With 049 on one side of the cell and Dr. Ham on the other, he asked, "How is it that you can produce a great quantity of tools from that bag? I've observed you, and it seems to me that you are doing the impossible." "Dear doctor," replied 049, "the scourge, the great dying, cannot be fought with a handful of toys. My bag is merely the product of my imagination. It gives me what I require. You, dear sir, it seems, are limited by your imagination." It stopped for a second or two and stared at Dr. Ham. "I detect you are unwell," it said, in a voice not as amiable as before. "It's just a cold," said the doctor. "Ah, Just a cold. If you had seen what I have seen, you would not utter such insulting words. Dr. Ham pulled out some papers from a briefcase and approached 049, holding them close enough so he could read them. You see, said Dr. Ham, pointing to the results on the paper, those animals you say you cured, they were not diseased. They were perfectly healthy before they died. And your so-called cure, it turned them into something quite terrible. We found that if they were left alone, they began to eat each other, and then themselves. 049 did not respond, and after a brief pause said only, a good day to you, doctor. Please close the door on your way out. You should get some rest. Ham refused to go, and instead turned the conversation to this real interest, the bag, demanding that 049 let him see inside of it. Very well, doctor, 049 said. In private. 049 began to pull a series of long metal poles out of its bag, followed by a rolled-up curtain that it hung between them, creating a kind of medical tent around Dr. Ham. It seemed to stare for just a moment into the observation camera outside of itself, before whipping the curtain shut. Dr. Ham was discovered 3 hours later, crawling around the floor of 049's cell, now another mindless undead. When he was retrieved by security, 049 didn't even look up from his notebook. Dr. Ham didn't get the incinerator treatment.
What did he do? That's creepy as hell. He just like pulled some poles and some curtains out of his purse and like this guy went crazy. That's wild.
But he did receive a fatal dose of drugs, a mercy. A removal team was sent to 049's cell, but it had said there was no need for special extraction techniques. It would go willingly, wherever they wanted to go. It was not, it said, an enemy of the people. The Hippocratic Oath forbids me to hurt a human being, it said while walking to the interrogation center. My only desire is to offer you my services and expertise. The floors and walls of the interrogation center room were painted a bright white. Even the table was white, which contrasted with 049, a mass of black sitting in the middle of the room. During the interrogation, it refused to admit or even accept that it had killed Dr. Ham. I cured him. I removed the pestilence from his body, it said. It was later asked if it regretted its actions, to which it replied, well, good sir, one always regrets the loss of a colleague for any reason, but I stand by my actions. The pestilence must be abated before it is too late. Every 2 weeks from that point, 049 was given animals. The scientists at the facility observed it time and again, touching the animals, killing them, before producing a saw or a scalpel and opening them up. Organs would be carefully removed with perfect precision. It was astounding to even trained surgeons just how talented 049 was. I require a close relative of yours, said 049 one day to a young doctor, who expressed shock that it was asked for one of the doctor's family members. I mean a great ape, said 049, not your dear aunt. There were several instances of 049 displaying a keen sense of humor.
He said, I needed a great ape, not your aunt. That's so mean.
Staff would almost forget that the thing that they were talking to wasn't human, almost. And it was Dr. Thomas Morstead that had supplied the great apes, orangutans in fact, that had been rescued from the rainforests of Borneo, only to be taken to 049's cell. Then one day something changed. 049 told Dr. Morstead that its work was done, that it accomplished what it had wanted to do, and could someone remove the cured animal from its cell? I think you'd find that it's quite the work of art. A triumph, 049 said through the intercom. When the removal team entered the cell, they found the orangutan, or what was left of it. It was lying in the corner of the cell. The top of its skull had been removed, leaving its brain exposed. On its face was the expression of relaxation, and from its mouth it issued very soft squeaks, like that of an infant. 049 said, tell Dr. Morstead that its rage mechanism no longer exists. I've removed the amygdala and made some changes to the hypothalamus and limbic system. It is cured and quite harmless.
Jesus Christ, that thing made it pretty much like emotionless and like pretty much just, you know, like a baby.
Next day, Dr. Morstead announced that he wanted to visit 049's cell himself, after which he heard a chorus of disapproval from his colleagues, all telling him that 049 was now too dangerous. Dr. Ham was sick, replied Morstead, and 049 has assured us that he would never take another human life. He's never lied to us, and we're going to take him at his word. It appeared that 049 had created the perfect specimen, so what was next? Dr. Morstead had to know. Everyone is sick, 049 told Dr. Morstead after the two had talked for a couple of minutes. The great pandemic has started. Fear not, doctor. I have a cure. No longer will you humans spread your disease. I'm afraid you are wrong, replied the doctor. This pandemic you speak of does not exist. We can happily live with our pathogens. We have done so for millennia. Dr. Morstead became angry that he couldn't get through to 049. I'm afraid you are suffering from paranoia. It is you who need to be cured. You have no idea, said 049.
Like, how are we supposed to know the difference? You know, like we think that our germs and stuff that we live with every day is fine and dandy and there's nothing wrong with it and blah, blah, blah. But then this guy comes and is like, no. You know, you guys are wrong. Like you got, you know, paranoia. Like, yeah, you might be right. But, you know, like who's to say this guy isn't right? Yeah, maybe he's correct. Maybe there is stuff wrong with us. The Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. That's interesting. Yeah, they make movies about these SCPs. It's really wild to see, like, when you start learning more and more about these self, like these contained creature things that are in this, not real universe of like the SCPs, but they make it feel like it's real because it's supposed to be like secretive and underground and hidden from the world so that us humans can live our normal lives without having to deal with all this bad stuff. But then you like learn about some of them and you find out like they've made movies, they've done, all kinds of stuff. Like even like the kids, they love this Slender Man for a while. Slender Man is one of the SCPs, the Loch Ness Monster is an SCP. Bigfoot is an SCP, like why do you think you never see a lot of Bigfoot? Only once in a while, is because those are the SCPs that got out of containment and were wandering free, and the SCP Foundation hasn't gotten them back yet. So like even quote unquote Bigfoot is supposed to be hidden in this underground facility to keep from humans. So it's really cool. But yeah, to serve man, that's interesting. The Twilight Zone makes some really good shows though, like some really, really, really good talking points and episodes and stuff, learning lessons.
What are you doing? Shouted Morstead. You promised you wouldn't hurt a human again. I'm not hurting you. I'm healing you, 049 said and leapt across the room in a flash, placing a hand on the doctor's head. Morstead slumped to the ground. They were being watched in the observation room, and this had gone too far. He had to be moved to the containment cells permanently. Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11 was right on the scene.
It also reminds me of like the bad guys in real life, like when you learn about like why, there's like these powerful guys in positions of power and they're doing like the most horrible thing ever. In their own mind, they're thinking that they're doing the right thing. Like even like these like religious Christian zealots, and they're like anti-abortion and wanting to ruin the life of the mother, but in their own head, they're like, we're here to protect the children. So it's kind of like in his mentality, like he thinks what he's doing is like helping benefit the world, and the world just doesn't understand and is wrong in the thinking, and he's the right one. It's that same mentality. It's crazy.
The door. No imagination, 049 said to himself. Those humans have no imagination at all. He began walking towards the task force, who opened fire on the anomaly, but the bullets bounced off his black coat and mask. SCP-049 calmly touched each of the members of the task force, one by one, draining the life from them. The last one standing stopped firing and attempted to run, but again 049 leapt across the room, black cape billowing out behind him, and gently touched the man, causing him to drop to the floor. 049 stepped over the bodies of the fallen team and walked out of the containment cell. The full details of what happened next are available only to the O5 Council, who are sometimes called the Overseers. The redacted report that is available reads, Standard Secure Humanoid Containment Cell, Research Sector 02, Site 19, Subject, SCP-049. Date of breach, redacted. Euclid class SCP-049 breached cell and subsequently gained access to adjoining rooms and nearby buildings. Breach lasted approximately 3 days and 5 hours. Total casualties, redacted, with redacted number of survivors requiring incineration therapy. Course of action. Department of Science Alchemy Division suggested injecting anti-transmogrify disinfectant into Class D former prisoners who were transported to site and allowed them to come into contact with SCP-049. SCP failed to reanimate injected prisoners and cure them. SCP-049 acknowledged this failure and surrendered to Mobile Task Force Alpha-1. SCP-049 then requested to be contained. Present containment under responsibility of redacted. Present location of SCP-049, redacted. End of report.
Everything is redacted. Everything is redacted. You cannot tell you where they are. But that's cool the way that they were able to contain him that way. That was really interesting. Like they used some kind of special like serum that is like anti-transforming so that the doctor couldn't like kill the people or give them whatever like the pestilence that he has. So to him, it didn't work and he failed. So he willingly gave himself up and was like, all right, just take me back. I failed. And it's like I was saying earlier, it's like those bad guys, like they thought that he was doing something good and he didn't work. So he failed. And he's like, all right, you guys give up, you win. That's it. That's crazy. That's such an interesting character of the SCPs. He's definitely more of the intellectual, not as, like he's obviously very deadly and very dangerous in the SCP community and he's up there in the tops, but he's more of one of the more intelligent ones, very manipulative and he uses, your kindness as a human to trick you into turning you into what he wants, what he thinks is the correct human. So I thought that SCP is one of my tops. Probably one of my top 10. Like, I think I have like a top 10, maybe a top 5 or a top 10. There's just a lot of them that usually I don't remember all of them like exactly, but like some of them always like repeat in my mind all the time. And he's definitely one of them, which is way, way, way cool. I absolutely love that one. So he was cool. Now to continue going with these scary stories, I want to get into liminal spaces. And hopefully we don't get in trouble for this one either. All right, so exploring an altered reality by it's called liminal spaces. This is done by Solar Sands. See, they got like a check mark. So I'm hoping we don't get in trouble for this, but we shall see.
These paintings have been viewed by undoubtedly thousands of people, maybe millions, but they're rarely seen. They're never really analyzed, they're never really contemplated, but they are works of art nonetheless. Someone sat down, planned them, designed them, painted them, and finalized them. To some of you, they might feel off, like they haven't been put into the right context, or there's something very big that's missing from them. And that's because there is. This is all background art for Lego sets. One of the very first things you learn about design, this great, seemingly obvious revelation, is that everything that is not from nature is design. Anything from the most magnificent monument to something as small as a toothpick. Someone somewhere had to sit down, usually sketch out their idea, and develop it. For pretty much every building and every product out there, and the stuff surrounding that product, the packaging and presentation, also had to be designed and developed. Someone had to make something they knew wasn't going to be consciously appreciated by most people, and put the effort and work required to make it presentable, even when a lot of it was going to be covered up. In this case, the art director and illustrator Chris Barrett made these. The reason some of these backgrounds feel off is because they're not really meant to be seen this way. Usually they have a large Lego set in the middle, general set information, piece count, logos, all this other stuff that obscures about 40 to 50% of it. So when you take all this stuff away, when you remove it from its context, the result is this very empty image. They have no people, not even minifigures. There's not even a focal point, really. This feeling I get from looking at them is loneliness, obviously.
So that's the whole like the base legit, or the base answer for the fear of liminal spaces is that it's something that was created, at least designed for humans and life to be a part of, but there's the missing of life itself, the nothingness of something that was designed but not being used. So abandoned places is like definitely one of the bigger ones that they use, like abandoned hotels, abandoned buildings, abandoned offices, abandoned arcades, abandoned malls, anything that was designed by something that is alive, that is like that has life, but then never being used for that purpose. Like there's nothing living inside of it. A bare empty wall or a bare empty room in a house could also be a liminal space as well.
But also a kind of odd, very slight, unsettling tinge, as if I'm not really supposed to be looking at these. Because, well, I'm not really. They're designed to be filled in with something else that gives it life. This feeling I get, and this subject matter, is similar in some ways to a recent surge of semi-viral photo compilations that you may or may not have seen pop up in your recommended. These types of photos.
So let me know if any of these like make you feel uneasy and like weird and creeped out, because like I said, I watched these last night trying to get myself into if there is a fear inside of me somewhere of these kind of things. And I don't have this fear. This is not something I fear at all. I'm from like a city, but like a city that, is very poor and stuff. So abandoned places were like everywhere in my town that I grew up at. There was a lot of them. And those were hangout spots, or chilling things. Like there's this old abandoned building out in the middle of the desert. So my grandma's house she used to live out in Mojave, like where the Mojave Desert is, the actual town of Mojave, California. And out in the middle of the desert, like, because the whole like town is separated by train tracks. So like on this side of the town is where all like the town is itself, but on this side you have to like drive really far, and there's a couple of housing projects, like an apartment complex, and then like an entire housing community, like a neighborhood, and it's just out in the middle of nowhere, and surrounding those is just more desert, like all just complete Mojave Desert, mountains, everything. And out there in the desert, away from my grandma's house, there was an abandoned building. It was so abandoned that like the only thing was left was the roof of the building, which was a giant metal building, and the poles that were holding the side of the building. So like the side of it was just completely open. Me and my sister used to go there all the time. Like we've actually held wild owls on our arms that were living there. We made friends with those owls. We, would just always hang out there. It was like me and my sister's, like, it was like a cool hangout spot that we would hang out. So this kind of stuff doesn't really scare me. So when we watch this, let me know if any of these like freak you out or anything, because apparently it's supposed to, but I have not seen any of these that scare me yet. So
these often low quality, atmospheric, lonely, nostalgic, and in many ways deeply uncanny images have gathered a small cult following of sorts. The locations that these photos depict, many have referred to as liminal spaces.
This better be some copyright free
Fattest,
music.
most famous example of a liminal space. They're basically an idea.
So that's the most famous picture right there is that one. Here, let me bring it back a little. So stuff like this.
The back rooms are
so this is the most famous photo. This is the one that got it started, I guess, with the liminal spaces, was somebody took a photo of this, and this is kind of what they base the back rooms as, is this kind of stuff. Just like bare empty room, faded, walls that look like there might have been smokers inside because it's all just yellowed and dirty and unkept. But it was also, what freaks them out is the fact that this was built by people that are alive. Like this was built, but there's nobody there and nobody in it. So that's what makes it a scary thing. And then they're saying like some of these, like when it comes to liminal spaces in the back rooms and stuff, that these are supposed to not actually be created by anyone in general, like anybody in general. These are just there. So yeah, let's finish watching.
Probably the biggest, baddest, most famous example of a liminal space. They're basically an idea devised by a very simple creepypasta that has been...
All right, let's read this. So they're saying, if you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. So that's, I think, the scary part about it is you don't know what's there, what could be watching you, but it definitely knows that you're there. The feel and smell and the everything around it, like your senses just overwhelmed, like he's saying, the stink of old moist carpet, the mono yellow in here, the humming noise of the fluorescent lights, and then just the endlessness of this. And so, and when they say, like, if you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, what they mean by that is if you are, like, if you're playing a video game, if you ever remember playing a video game and like something happens to where you like glitch yourself outside of the map or like under the map, you can't get yourself out. They're trying to say it like that, but in real world, like in this world. So if you accidentally, like glitch yourself out of the matrix, this is where you could possibly find yourself. And then they're saying that nobody's ever escaped from it. So what is this? You definitely need to watch videos of the backroom levels. Yeah, definitely interesting. They talk about how you can escape in the different entities. Yeah, in each level. And they also talk about like you going down a wrong room and it takes you into this other area that you glitch or clip out of into, and then you're stuck in that and you've got to try to find a way out of that area to get back to the no rooms. It's like this whole dimensional alive space that's supposed to be like the clip that like the glitching outside of the map, like the world and the universe here is our map of our video game, and glitching yourself out of it puts you into this multi-dimensional, boring, but also scary and senses intensifying thing where you feel like you're constantly being watched. So yeah, you played a liminal space game on your VR with this yellow maze, and so you do have the fear of it. Okay. I was wondering if there was anyone that does, because I have to try it or something on the VR with you or something, because I watched these movies and or some of these videos, and I just didn't get scared. I probably need to start, instead of like looking into liminal spaces, I need to watch like the backroom video gameplay and see how that works out, because yeah, I don't see it. So I did get a little bit scared when I tried to play, because Fortnite has like this little side game on there that's called Backrooms, and it looks just like this. You're just running around like that, but then you like turn around in a corner and another corner, and there's like this demon guy, and then he looks at you, and like the music intensifies, and then you start back at the beginning again. Like you're supposed to be able to find your way out without seeing this guy, but after like 3 or 4 times, I kept running into him, and I'm like, I don't like him. The sound is really creepy. I'm just going to end the game because I can't fucking get out. And I'm thinking like that game is probably where you just can't get out anyway, and you're just supposed to continuously go through that over and over and over and over again. I didn't like that. That part I didn't like. I don't know. It's crazy. It's not scary when you watch it, but when you play the games and you're in the liminal, see, that's what I gotta try. Yeah. Is actually being in it instead of just watching it. Exactly. Real life has me desensitized because I'm so used to like the thriller aspect of things, I play like Subnautica, to where I know those motherfuckers are out there, like those big giant things, and it just takes me one wrong move and I'm like right there, and it's almost like Subnautica is kind of like you're a mouse in a giant house full of really scary stuff. So you know how mice kind of move around a house. They, hide and they go through back walls and stay against the walls to get to the other side of the house. That's how you play Subnautica, because you stay against the walls. You try not to go out into the thing. You always try to keep yourself quiet and you move slowly and stuff, because those fuckers are going to come and attack you. Now, I could see where the liminal spaces could be like that, but it's just like to me it looks just like a bunch of empty rooms. So that thriller feeling, that existential feeling of there's something around the corner, that in at least in the back rooms things hasn't quite hit me fully yet. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to play the game, because I'm so used to, existential fear of things. So, yeah.
Continuously expanded and made famous through other posts, video games, memes, and YouTube videos. The original post describes how if you no-clip out of reality, which is a video game term that refers to when a player passes through what are supposed to be physical objects and boundaries, you will find yourself in an endless maze of rooms, carpet, and fluorescent lights that extends for 600 million square miles. So you're basically trapped there. This photo is usually the go-to image to give someone a good idea of what the backrooms are. It's a photo that depicts the yellowed, decaying walls and carpet of some old office space or storage room that, to my knowledge, no one knows the true location of. This creepypasta is especially unique because, unlike other stories, the fear for the most part does not come from some mysterious creature, but the setting itself. There have been a lot of lore-extending posts that try to describe things like levels and such, and that's all fine and dandy, but I think the simplicity of the concept, the visceral idea of being trapped in an uncomfortable place, isolated and permanently cut off from the world you once knew, and that it can just happen randomly, is already pretty disturbing. Now, I called the back room.
No, see, that's where like it does kind of get to the disturbing part. Like that is really scary if you just know glitched out of your life, like today, like just right now, if I know glitched out and ended up in that room, yeah, that I would probably be scared of that. But it's just so outside of the realm of reality in my head that I'm just like, that's child's play to me. So yeah, it's crazy.
The most famous example of a liminal space before defining liminal space, because it gives you a good idea of what I'm trying to get at. Liminal space is pretty much the most accepted term for these kinds of images on the internet. The definition
It's so funny seeing some of these photos because some of them are like old trailer parks and stuff, you know, like these. And it's like, I grew up in something that looks like this. I grew up in something that looks like this, you know. What are you talking about, these wood walls? I still have wood walls.
term for these kinds of images on the internet. The definition of liminal, according to Google, is 1. Relating to a transitional or initial stage of a process, or 2. Occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or threshold. Ultimately, if we just look at the etymology of the word, where limen simply means threshold in Latin, we can understand it pretty easily. On Wikipedia, liminality has an anthropology definition that describes the quality of ambiguity or disorientation that occurs in the middle stage of a rite of passage. This describes more emotional liminal spaces rather than physical, like a divorce, job loss, or moving to a new place. I think combining these two passages, taking the qualities of a transitional space and the qualities of disorientation, gives us a pretty apt description of these images. I consider a liminal space, at least for the purposes of this video, to be a transitional space that is unsettling. An empty parking lot, a house that has had all its furniture taken out, an abandoned mall, a playground at night, a school long after classes have ended. If you feel something while looking at these images, hell, if you've ever been in these types of places and these types of conditions, and you feel something, you're not alone. Many have claimed the backrooms, or at least the backrooms photo, seem oddly familiar, as is the claim with a lot of these liminal space photos. I wanted to really get to the bottom of why this is, really isolate the reason why so many people across the internet, with vastly different memories and experiences, claim that these seemingly loosely connected sets of photos seem so oddly familiar. Is there this grand conspiracy? Are these photos randomly generated to access specific nostalgia-producing glands in the brain? Have we all no-clipped into a different dimension as children, and suppressed these memories deep inside of us, only to be reignited by photos on the internet with a snippet of Porter Robinson music?
I mean, some of them definitely do have like a nostalgia feeling. Like I feel like I've been there before, you know, as a kid, and that's what it would look like now. But there's no fear or terror. It just looks like capitalism ran its course.
No, probably not. I have a theory that the reasons for this are quite simple, and I'm going to be demystifying some of these photos to get a thorough analysis, so if you want to get your childlike wonder destroyed, then don't move forward with this video. You can find Tumblr posts listing off all kinds of places in specific states that they claim have these altered reality qualities, even without images attached. And while I understand most of them, there's some I don't get this feeling from at all, like any Target. What do they mean by that? Why just Target? It's just a superstore. If you said abandoned Target maybe, but just a Target? And then churches in Texas. I've been to churches in Texas. I haven't found anything weird about them. Also, that's far too broad. Do they know how big Texas is? There have got to be thousands of churches in all kinds of different places. What specifically are they referring to? Likewise, it's not like all these photos have an effect on me. Some don't make me feel anything at all. In this video, you may not feel anything from these images or relate at all to what I'm talking about. You may even find it...
That's how I feel. I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm not getting it. I'm really not getting it. Roxy, you got to help me out because I'm not getting it.
Pretentious. And that's okay. But it's hard to ignore the phenomenon that is happening on social media and the feelings of thousands of people without some analysis. Near the end of the post, someone makes the claim that because our brains are hardwired for context, places that are outside of a certain expected time and space feel strange. And I hate to agree with a Tumblr post, but I think they're right about this context thing. These places were designed for specific purposes by humans. Even the most obscure, rarely thought over bit of architecture had to be designed and built by someone. And they are designed with a certain context in mind. And when they are taken out of their expected designed context, they can become uncanny. A place should have children in it. So should a school. Shopping malls or airports aren't designed to be empty. They should be buzzing with life. An empty sales shack abandoned in the dead of night becomes alien. But this isn't the same thing as seeing something completely strange, like random items filled with beans, for example. Liminal spaces are at first surprising, but completely explainable. Inevitable, actually. We don't usually take time out of our day to think of a place we are familiar with in an unfamiliar context. It's like, so when you see the true length of fire hydrants, for example, you're at first slightly shocked. We always see them as these little stumps in the ground. But then you realize, of course.
That motherfucker's huge! It's huge! It's so big! Of course. Why would you never think that, you know? Like, holy crap. It's gotta connect to water pipes under the ground. Woo!
How else would a fire hydrant work? We're seeing another side to something familiar. Context is a fundamental part of how our brains work. Think about all the color and pattern illusions out there that are able to bend shapes and colors simply by changing the context. The brain is a context machine. That's why I think you rarely see nature in these photos, unless it's a heavily edited digital image or obviously artificial. Nature has no designed context, really. It grows where it wants to, where it seems fit, and we've lived with this knowledge all our lives. So when we see something,
yeah, I can obviously see how, like, it has to be something man-made for it to feel like a liminal space, because nature is nature, you know? Nature's beautiful. It's been here before we were here. It's gonna be here long afterwards. So seeing it in its original state with no human life or anything, there's still life there. You know, there's still plants. It's still alive. It's just beautiful.
consisting of nature at a different time of day or with no people, we don't think of it as an altered reality. It's a landscape. There's nothing unnatural about it. The complete and utter lack of people is probably one of the most powerful aspects of these images. There's a word for this from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, kenopsia, the eeriness of places left behind. You get that sense that the world was once full of people, but then they all vanish mysteriously, leaving everything running in quick, total abandonment.
Now see, I can see the fear in that part. So like places where people used to be, like Chernobyl, you know, how it's like there's still stuff of people's left there. Like videos and pictures of the Chernobyl and what happens out there. That is creepy and eerie to me, because that's where it just looks like empty, you know, areas where people used to be, and they just dropped everything they owned was just left in place, and everybody left. That's a little scary to me. Like, you know, a kid's toys that are in a room that look like they've just been thrown on the floor because they were just playing with it and left. Like, that's creepy to me. I can't.
There's another element that may add to this altered reality feeling. The lighting is especially powerful. Many places are unnaturally lit, either by the atmospheric cast of a streetlight, or by the sickly glowing tube of a fluorescent light. This sales shack, I mentioned before, has this great black abyss surrounding it, separated by the orange ground. This auditorium has one light source behind the viewer that only dissipates the further you look on. Through unusual lighting, it accentuates that disorientation, and through more conventional, artificial lighting, it accentuates that familiarity. A vast majority of the lighting is similar to when people take pictures that are not professional. Photos, you can imagine, have been taken with cheap, family-owned cameras. People have often used this word in comment sections to describe this effect of familiarity. Anemoia, again, from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. Anemoia is defined as nostalgia for a time you've never known. Others have pondered about the validity of reincarnation. Even more have claimed they've seen images like
Did you see like a couple of those pictures and was like, God, that feels nostalgic, but you know you've never been there. It just looks super, super familiar. I do feel that, but it doesn't scare me.
Like these in their dreams. And I think this is all because people have seen these places before. Okay, not literally. Like, not everyone went to these specific locations during their childhoods, but you've probably been to places that are extremely similar, at least in spirit. Many of these photos are from old buildings, old homes, places with decaying 80s and 90s decor, play areas for toddlers, places that if you were a child born anywhere between the 90s and the 2000s, you probably experienced, whether on a road trip or in your own town. It took me about 30 seconds to find the
That's Taco Bell. I know what that is. That's Taco Bell. Back when it used to have cool colors, now the colors suck at Taco Bell, man. The 90s and Taco Bell was the shit.
the origin of this photo because I recognized it after some memory searching. It's literally just an old Taco Bell. This picture is probably from some kind of rink or shopping mall. Many of these are just isolated areas of some people's homes. These heavily edited photos with their unnaturally steep hills, bizarre residential planning, and increased saturation look a lot like backgrounds to kids' television shows. These photos of green rolling hills look very similar to the Bliss default wallpaper for Windows XP. And why are people nostalgic for that image? Because they use that operating system as kids. These are just playgrounds, arcades, slides. You ever been to one of those as a kid? This is a Sonic drive-thru. This one is just a gas station. I mean, have you seen what most of America looks like? The back rooms and photos like the back rooms are probably some empty offices or some storage space somewhere. So it's probably not reincarnation or something. I think, considering the amount of fairly common places these photos were taken at, it's much more likely most people are just unlocking stowed away memories. And while they might not be carbon copies of places they've been, they contain enough of the general gist, the atmosphere, more of the conceptual, and less of the literal. And through this, they instill in us a vague sense of familiarity. These are places that we don't make clear in our mind. They are ordinary, transitional spaces that we don't have time to make mental models of in our brains, because at the time, they seem unimportant, but ultimately, necessary. These are the journeys between our destinations. These kinds of photos, I would assume, don't require any technical skill to pull off. Most of them, I assume, are lit the way the photographers found them. Many of them are low quality, which in fact adds to this nostalgic sense, much like compression artifacts on an old recording. So can anyone take a liminal space photo? Well, let's find out. Get in, loser.
So this guy just goes to a mall, as you can see, and just finds tons of areas in the back areas of malls to take pictures. So that was pretty
And if
cool.
you're American. Now there's been some threads of people who claim they are not American and still feel the same things. And there's no reason to doubt this. These kinds of places are not totally exclusive to America, and they're still American media, but I found this interesting post that made me rethink the universality of this appeal. In the description, the uploader explains how these liminal spaces are of places mostly from a typical American childhood, and so as someone who partially grew up in Russia, they made a compilation that might appeal more towards a Russian childhood. So I watched their video. While the photos matched all the same criteria, atmospheric lighting, lack of people, and transitional spaces, for the most part, I did not feel the same as with the typically American compilation. I felt a tinge of eeriness and sadness, but not that same nostalgic sting. It appears nostalgia for our narrow net of liminal space images is not universal. Another element should also be considered. The power of presentation and suggestion probably gives these images more attention than usual. Let's face it, if these photos were mixed in with all the other stuff from your feed, without a caption or any other signal of importance, I doubt you'd really give it the attention and thought you would normally. But when it's put in a video with the intriguing title, pictures that feel strangely familiar but are uncomfortable, and a single photo, front and center with nothing to distract from it, well then, that's something you want to pay attention to. Furthermore, if you showed someone...
It's like the bait and switch. They're like catching your attention by doing it, because you wouldn't even look twice at things like this. You'd just be like, oh, it's abandoned. But they're adding context to it, which I guess would, trigger like feelings and emotions and stuff inside of you as a watcher or a reader or a looker.
These images with no commentary, you may not get much of a reaction from them. But if you suggest they're familiar, this may prompt people to think more deeply about their past experiences, and connect them to a certain time or place they didn't consider beforehand. I wouldn't say it's entirely off the table that some people may be manufacturing false memories merely by suggestion. But for me at least, there's more to these images than that. Like I demonstrated before, I can connect these images to specific memories and similar looking images from my childhood. The most powerful of these images to me is when there is just one or two things off about them. And it's never something that is supernatural, no ghosts or monsters, just little spikes of strangeness that produce this uncanny effect. For example, take this inaccessible waiting area on the second floor of some hotel. A bewildering design for a passageway of narrow, cornered walls. This long, prison-like building with a single lit window. This area of infinitely receding walls with windows installed in them for seemingly no apparent reason. This underground house with a concrete sky and artificial greenery. This storage or office space with such sparse lighting, you wonder how anyone could work there. I can't even begin to explain this photo. This one is just plain weird.
Yeah, I don't like that one. That's the one out of all of them that I saw that I was just like, that's a little creepy on the, like, who? Why would you do that? Ugh. Don't add water.
Know why anyone would design these horrifying mouth pillars. These bits of weirdness produce anxiety, a kind of impending danger that is similar but more powerful to normal liminal space photos. Not only have most of these environments been taken out of their design context, the architecture itself is unnerving. If there was a scale from normal images to weird images we have covered on this channel, it would start with like a normal average looking photo, then these liminal space photos with one or two things off about them, then art breeder images, then finally complete abstraction. These liminal space photos are a kind of middle ground between what was already a middle ground between abstraction and normal. Edited photos are some of the most powerful in this dreamlike aspect, like this room with a strangely photoshopped right window, or this flat plane, or these copy and paste homes scattered haphazardly over sanitized landscapes, or this heavily edited supermarket with a road that descends so steeply it's reminiscent of falling in a dream. In the realm of traditional painting, there's one artist that comes to mind whose works resemble liminal spaces. John Register's paintings of places devoid of people, but instead filled with objects like chairs and tables, give off similar vibes, but are far more comfortable to me, probably because they are also filled with sunshine and large windows, and don't give off the same nostalgia, because they depict aesthetics far before my time, but they are still breathtakingly beautiful. I'm sure there are other artists I'm simply not aware of that make similar kinds of artwork, so if you know any of them, just tell me in the comments. If you have spent any time in this community, you've probably found a favorite liminal space photo. There is one for me as well. I first saw it in a compilation put together by the channel Float, in part 2 of their strangely familiar places with unnerving music series. This photo is utterly paralyzing to me every time I see it. It reminds me of being on the road at night during late December, gazing at all those homes in obscure locations, far away from the city, but still celebrating all the same. The black void surrounding the house is overpowering in its isolated.
That looks like some of my friends' trailers from back in the day out in Mojave and Roseman and the desert towns. It literally, this is like not scary to me at all because it looks like places that I've stayed at. So, when you grow up in the middle of nowhere and you're wanting to go to your friend's house out in the middle of nowhere as well, this is what you walk to, especially during Christmas time. This is what the houses look like. This is what the trailers look like. I have had plenty of friends that live in places like this, so definitely not scary for me at all.
As I stare at those modest decorations, I think about the humans who live there, probably deep in slumber, unbothered by the weather outside. People live here, I would think. People with stories and experiences I'll probably never know. This small house is like millions of others, doomed to obscurity. This is going to sound stupid, but over this past summer, I've been watching The Office, and for the most part I enjoyed it. In some places it was maybe a bit more cringe than comedy for my liking.
Side note, Office is amazing.
But overall enjoyable, and for a lot of the time I was watching, the setting consisted of tan, plain walls and uninspiring architecture. And then I realized if you removed all the furniture and office supplies, you'd probably get something similar to one of those backrooms photos. And then I realized all those little stories and character quirks, while greatly exaggerated, exist in real life. People worked in these places, and now all those people are gone. At least within the tiny viewpoint we get from a single photo. Just like how human beings designed and built these places, human beings also lived in them, and it's undeniable that they weaved a little bit of humanity into them. This might have been someone's childhood home, or their favorite place to play as a child. And when they're gone, it's like you can feel a ghost remain, a kind of eeriness and sadness. These very ordinary places were once full of life, full of stories, no matter how insignificant, stories that may never be told. Hell, without any describable landmarks, we don't even know for sure what state some of these could be in, or country, or place on the planet. To take another word from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, Sonder is the realization that each random passerby is living a life just as vivid and complex as your own.
This was so cool to see this in the video yesterday when I was watching this, because this is one of my favorite words in the entire world. Like, this is probably my top favorite word in the entire world, is the word Sonder. It's the realization that every person in the world is living a life just as vivid and complex as your own. And I absolutely love this word because it's taught me so much empathy towards people that I didn't even know, any kind of judgment, any kind of like things, like bad things I used to think about people in the past when I was young and ignorant. This word is like completely taught me a whole new aspect, a whole new way of it. So
I find myself staring at these photos and applying this same realization to man-made places. if these walls could talk. I know this is all getting very sentimental, but for me that's the main point of interest. In fact, there are efforts by channels like David Crypt, who also supplied the compilations which introduced me to this subject, to try and see if we can get some of these stories to be told. For the past few months, David Crypt has been organizing a task force of sorts to find where the original Backrooms photo was taken. In fact, they've already found the location of a similar image usually associated with the Backrooms. And it's just an ordinary office space. But remember that underground house photo I mentioned earlier? It's actually a real photo of an underground 15,000 square foot bunker in Las Vegas that simulates the changes in night and day through artificial lights and an artificial environment with painted murals and fake trees.
So that's what's cool. I like that. The underground bunker that's got like the pool and everything. You want to say hi? Roxy, your sister says hi. That's what I like, is this underground bunker thing. I think that thing is way cool. I mean, I could see where people would get freaked out about it because the fakeness of it, but damn, that's so cool. She said hi, Sam. Hi.
Pool, barbecue, putting green, all of this 26 feet underground. It's kind of amazing. I doubt in the search for the Backrooms, people will find anything close to this kind of anomaly. And yet,
I mean, if I was stuck in a back room for like the rest of my life trying to get out, just leave me there. Like, I wouldn't even try to escape. Y'all can keep my soul down there. Just let me have that house.
still have an intense curiosity for its true location. These images and emerging culture seem like a new movement of art, and that includes everything from the digital edits to the low-quality photos. By putting these images into a new context, by adding music to accompany the atmosphere, by writing poetic comments, by analyzing them in meaningful ways, people have elevated these ordinary and obscure places to a greater significance, and this fascination has become a guiding force to track down and make these places a little less obscure. People are starting to rethink the ordinary, the unnoticed transitional spaces of our lives. The technology of the camera and the internet have made this possible by making these places accessible and collected. But it is also the dedicated following that has given significance to the insignificant, by taking it out of its design context. We are returning to a world as we once saw it, through the eyes of a child. We don't really know how it works or what it means, but we are fascinated by it. Even the most mundane and ordinary appears new in our eyes. The world is confusing, and large, and mysterious. We are anxious from unknown danger, and indulge in the simple comforts. We don't quite know where we're going and when we'll get there, but for now we're on a journey, and our destination is full of endless possibilities. Ultimately, these liminal space photos unlock some aspect of that by forcing us to look at something familiar in a new way. That's basically what this is all about. Taking something out of its design context can have powerful effects on our perceptions, and what a privilege it is to explore an altered reality.
They make it all scary. So funny. So here's, oh, now that's terrifying. No thank you on that. So you're like, that's not scary. That looked like my town at night. That's not scary. I used to go in those. That's not scary. That looks like the Walmart down in my old town. See, it's so hard to like get scared by some of this stuff because some of this stuff is just not scary to me, and it's sad. I mean, I guess it's good that I'm not scared by it, but it's like I don't understand. Like I want to understand the scariness of it. Like I want to get it, you know? I want to feel that. It's very rare that I get to be scared, so yeah, but that's liminal spaces. That's what they call the back rooms. Apparently there's a huge fear of it. Obviously, as I said, a couple of those were really creepy, like that last one right there with a chair in the middle of the air. I don't think so. Or the pool with the weird fountains in that room. Like some of those are a little bit creepy, and probably just because it just doesn't feel like it's right, like it belongs there or something. So that's probably what it is. But like some of those rooms, man, they just look like empty houses. I think I've gone like enough house shopping and like, you know, like moved so many times from renting that like looking at empty houses and empty spaces and stuff doesn't really scare me. It just makes me think like, what kind of furniture can I fit in that? So, I mean, it's probably like a fear of maybe the younger generation. That's what I'm thinking of is more of a younger generational fear because they haven't really got to like, you know, experience like house shopping and business shopping and, you know, seeing that kind of stuff, or maybe hasn't gone and traveled too much to where they've been in hotels that kind of feel like that. because I've definitely been in hotels across the country like that have felt like that for sure. So, but it's not scary to me. I mean, it does have like when you're like when I went to Salem, I stayed in a hotel like that, and the hallways, had a little bit of a creepy feeling to them, but we were trying to ghost hunt. So we were putting the intention into it as well. So, I mean, if you're just going like a business trip and you're not doing anything, I'm pretty sure that those hallways would probably not be as scary like a liminal space. I'm not sure. But it's a fear. People have it. People are scared. People are terrified of it. Obviously, my kid is scared of it in VR. So it's got to be, it's real. It's out there. And that is the scariness stuff for today. So that's it. I've got like 10 more minutes. I could probably get off a little bit earlier if I wanted to. Keep your eye out for the clips today. Once I get off here, I'm going to, start clipping it up and releasing. I might, if I have time today, no, I'll probably do it tomorrow because we're not doing Tuesdays. So it's not a scary feeling. It's a mostly okay, so it's mostly uneasy. Then I can definitely familiarize myself with that because there are some of those photos that were definitely like they're not scary. It's just that uneasy feeling. That makes sense. And see, I'm so used to like the uneasy feeling, like I was saying, like Subnautica, where something is there and you just don't know where it's at. That's a different uneasy feeling compared to, being in a room or in a giant empty room, knowing there's nothing there, but feeling like there's something that could be there. That's a different type of fear. That I haven't experienced yet, but I can definitely feel that. Like I definitely know that uneasy feeling of that for sure. Come on, Miss Lady. She's crazy. She's like a wiggler. Okay, so keep your eye out for the clips today. Tomorrow I know Sherry wants to know. Tomorrow I will be releasing the Activist MMT podcast with Jeffrey Epstein and her new design for the show on there. And I will be releasing that probably tomorrow. We're not doing MM Tuesdays anymore. I'm going to start releasing like one a day or something to kind of like help it out. I'll figure out a schedule for that today. For those shows, I gotta start coming up with a schedule for those and not just kind of on a whim just throw them out there. So I will get that figured out. I think keep an eye out for that tomorrow, and then I will be back here tomorrow, most likely at 10 a.m. I'm thinking about going back to my regular time, which I did today, right? I'm not sure what time I started today. Anyway. Well, let's see. It's almost 3, 2, 1, 12. No, I started at 11 today. I want to go back to 10, but 10 seems to be a little early for me. So I might stick to 11 the rest of this week, see how it goes. I might jump back to 10. So just in between 10 and 11 is when I'll start again. And then we'll see. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. You want to say hi, Miss Lady? No? You want to say hi? You say hi? You say hi? She's like, no, bitch. Don't want to. Oh, now you're going to say hi, huh? You going to say hi as soon as I'm up in your face? You say hi? You say hi? No, she's being weird. Okay. So let me thank everybody that came. Obviously, my daughter, Roxy. Thank you for staying the whole time just so you can get the liminal spaces video in. That's awesome. Thank you, Sherry, for stopping by. Ghost Start, Warren, E. Heller, thank you for coming by. Really good to see you. Thank you for supporting me over here. I will probably see you a little bit later, maybe over on Hardlands Media. I hung out with Miguel H yesterday in the Twitch chat. So Go Start, thank you for coming and bringing the good vibes as always. West Side. Holly, thank you for coming. As usual, you're always here and supporting, so thank you very much. Les Bones, of course, Les Bones, thank you for coming always with the sports ball. Holly, I think I said hi. I'm not sure. Hi again, Holly, if I didn't. Dolores, thank you for coming. Thank you for hitting the like, subscribe, and share button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. If you are, hit the little notification bell. That's going to let you know every time that we have a video coming up, so that way you don't miss anything. And then if you hit the like button, that helps out with the algorithms here, which is what we're always trying to battle, especially now that I have the Eye of Sauron YouTube on me. It's going to be a little bit harder because they're on my ass really bad now. Good to see you, Yona. I can't wait to show you me showing your video off later on today. Thank you for coming by. Anybody else that I'm missing? The Jesus guy with the California flag on his profile picture, as usual. Thank you for coming, Jesus. Go check my brother out on Spotify. Here, I'm going to bring this up again. It's KMCL on Spotify, Chemical. The song that you guys heard earlier today at the beginning of the show, that is my little baby brother. I'm going to be using his music from now on, so that way I don't get copyright striked. So if you want to go and check him out, show him some love. He does some really, really, really good music. He's a really good singer as well. He was inspired by like Bruno Mars, those type of people. So definitely go check him out. I just had a glitch in my electricity, so I'm going to go check out the weather and see how all that is looking out there. I'm excited. So thank you all for coming. I truly appreciate you. Let me hide this comment so it doesn't show up on the outro. And here, wait, before we head out, let me see. I want to make sure who is on Twitch so we can go and raid them. Who do we got on Twitch? Oh, good. Okay. Nikki is still on. It's a party of one over on Twitch, but I'm still going to do it. So, Twitch, creator dashboard, manager, raid. Girl already's got like 50 people watching her right now. I'm so jealous. Look at her go. All right, party of one, ready to raid. Oh, it looks like she's getting shut down too. Oh no, poor her. Yeah, she's dealing with some internet problems as well. That's boo. Okay, we gonna raid. Okay, you guys, thank you all for coming. I truly appreciate all of you. See you guys all tomorrow. Keep an eye out for the clips today, and I will check you later.